and Fernandes at West Ham for £150 million. That is like unbelievably good business for, you know, two players. They might say they did all right individually last season. Somerville towards the end of the season did really well, but I can't remember that ever happening before.
When we look at the way that Charlton will approach this game too, you will imagine that it will be to frustrate the life out of West Ham United as much as possible, and it's a challenge for Nuno as well too, isn't it, Perry, because we know that his style usually is counter-attacking. In this division, West Ham are going to have to get comfortable being on the ball and making things happen.
Exactly. If you look at in the centre midfield with Kante and Engels, the reason that Arne Engels has been brought in is because he'll be the one that will be the conductor, the one that West Ham will want to sort of control the game. And you saw with Kante as well, did brilliantly against Burnley for Solomon's his first goal, West Ham second, where he run down the left-hand side, cut it back, got a little deflection, Solomon put it in. So he was looking for those two to make their mark on the game, so get control of it and control the pace of the game. They don't want it helter-skelter. They don't want it stop-start and bitty and, you know, lots of 50-50s. They want to be able to get a passing rhythm going so they can move the Charlton back four around.
Some noise from the sellout crowd here at the London Stadium as the bubbles fly into the sky. Remember, there is so much live football on the way for you as the season gets into full swing on TalkSport tomorrow. West Brom take on Burnley in the Championship, a 12 o'clock kickoff, live and exclusive on TalkSport 2. That's before Chelsea start their Premier League campaign at local rivals Fulham on Monday night on TalkSport. Then Carabao Cup second round action follows in midweek, starting with Nottingham Forest against Leeds on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. First though, the noise level in here is reaching fever pitch. Anticipation and expectation. Life at home in the second tier starts here for West Ham United, roared on by the Hammers faithful. It's a London derby on TalkSport 2, and we are ready for action. Time to join your commentary team. The former Arsenal winger Perry Groves, alongside TalkSport's Joe Shannon.
Thanks, Ollie. What an atmosphere and what a day weather-wise for football. The sun is shining, and is this the season the gloom starts to lift at West Ham United? Relegation last year, but all the hope and optimism of a brand new campaign, which is expected to end with a return to the Premier League. It started with a draw at Burnley last week, disappointing in the circumstances, but more than 60,000 in a record Championship-era crowd are here for today's London derby. But beware Charlton, who are out to cause an early season shock. It is one of the eye-catching games at the start of the new EFL campaign, and one of 150 matches live from the English Football League this season that we will bring you across TalkSport and TalkSport 2. The bubbles are still flowing high up into the air as we watch from our lofty perch at the back of the main stand, a long way to the edge of the pitch. Huge technical areas here and a great claret and blue carpet all around the stadium. At any level, this is remarkable support in terms of numbers, Perry Groves, but it really is extraordinary, the numbers that West Ham have attracted here at Championship level.
So what is it in the season ticket numbers as well? Because you think, what is it, over 52,000 season ticket holders?
Yeah.
Again, that's I think a record for the Championship. There's not, well, there are very, very few clubs. I think Arsenal only have 40,000 season ticket holders at the Emirates. So I think with West Ham fans, they've had enough of, you know, of sort of being in the bottom reaches of the Premier League. I think they see this as a chance of being obviously in the top two in the Championship, and they want to get the fun back. You know, when you're a football fan, you want to have fun when you go and watch your team play, and there's been a lack of fun for probably like 2 or 3 years when you've been a West Ham fan.
Well, maybe the good times are returning to West Ham United. Certainly football game day is back, and we're about to get off and underway. Live and exclusive to national radio here on TalkSport 2. The game begins, Charlton kick us off, playing from right to left in the first half. Immediately Okonkwo, the new goalkeeper, goes long. It's one in the air by the giant Lieburn, 6'4". and Tyrese Campbell out on the left-hand side rolls it back to Amari Bell. Charlton in the cream shirts, claret shorts and black socks, and West Ham United playing from left to right towards the Sir Trevor Brooking end, which is split between home and away supporters. West Ham in the claret and blue shirts, white shorts and white socks. A busy day of football, of course, up and down the grounds, around the country, and we'll keep you up to date with goals as they go in as well. Engels wins the ball back, his first touch as a West Ham player, and he is fouled, and West Ham have a free kick. They have Hermansen in goal, Walker-Peters, Mavropanos, Kilman and Scarles, Bowen, Engels, Conte and Solomon, Castellanos and Piroe. And for Charlton, the goalkeeper is Okonkwo, McNamara, Jones, Kumetio and Bell, Coventry and Chalobah, Campbell, Carey and Grant behind Leeburn up front. Already over on TalkSport, we've brought you Hull 2, Manchester United 0. They're going around the grounds on TalkSport right now. Make sure you download our free app and you can be across everything. Towering header away by Kumetio for Charlton, only as far as Jared Bowen, who races forward into the area. Low shot blocked by Lloyd Jones, the Charlton captain. Bowen advancing with great purpose and menace there. And Charlton win it back now with the former Millwall man, Danny McNamara, in the right-back position. Hooks the ball upfield to Karlan Grant. He's forced into a tight area by Ollie Scarles. It'll bounce out of play for a Charlton throw. And the atmosphere really buzzing here in the early stages. West Ham 0, Charlton 0.
And shows the action on the pitch, Joe, isn't it? It's a really good start to the game. Got a really good flow intensity about it. Ball coming out to Jared Bowen on the right-hand side, cutting onto his left foot. And to be fair, Lloyd Jones, the Charlton captain, did brilliantly because he knew that obviously Jared Bowen wants to get his shot away. Got a really, really good block in, and that enables Charlton to recycle possession.
And Nathan Jones standing on the edge of the technical area, watching on as Campbell takes the ball on the outside left away from Walker-Peters, then jinks back onto his right foot. Walker-Peters gets a foot in, and the loose ball drops to Nathaniel Chalobah, one of Charlton's summer signings after leaving Sheffield Wednesday. Campbell, 2-in-2 for him this season. Left wing position, wins a corner off Walker-Peters, and Charlton have made a bright start. Yeah,
we see Tyrese Campbell starting on this left-hand side, obviously Karlan Grant over on the right. Straight away there's been a couple of 1v1 situations. Campbell against Walker-Peters. The first one, Walker-Peters won, just got his little foot in, but he just manages to get it away to Chalobah, who recycled it. Then another 1v1. Campbell tries to go on the outside of Walker-Peters. He gets a tackle in. Corner for Charlton on their left-hand side.
Exeter 1, Accrington 0. First goal of the 3 o'clock kick-offs around the grounds, around the country this afternoon. Corner for Charlton Athletic, whipped in by Karlan Grant, headed away by Mavropanos and hit by Carey on the half volley from the edge of the penalty area with the bright yellow boots on. But it's a swirling effort that sails high and wide and into the Bobby Moore stand behind the goal to the left, 0-0.
There's good delivery from Karlan Grant. In swing with his right foot, just putting Hermansen under a bit of pressure. But what you want as West Ham, they go zone across 6-yard box. Really good defensive error from Mavropanos, just making sure when it comes to his header, he gets the first contact.
Hermansen, the West Ham goalkeeper, very slow to play the ball out there, nearly caught in possession by Leeburn. West Ham manoeuvre the ball up the thirds to Solomon, who scored on his debut in the draw at Burnley last weekend. And now Conte back to Kilman, the left-sided centre-half. They got his first goal for West Ham United at Turf Moor. Conte, tall and leggy, rolls it back to Hermansen in green, and here is Mavropanos, who was certainly one of West Ham's better performers in obviously such a disappointing season last year.
Yeah, just look at West Ham, obviously we thought they'd go 4-4-2, but it looks like it's a 4-4-1-1. Castellanos will give them that focal point. It looks like Piroe just got that little bit of freedom just to hovering around him sort of in the 10 position.
Well, he is a proven championship player, as we were saying before the game. Good layoff by Castellanos, back to Piroe. Early ball threaded out to the left-hand side. Ollie Scarles is onto it with a good low ball in, although a little too close in the end to goalkeeper Okonkwo, who goes down to gather, and expert handling at his near post. A quick throw out to Campbell as the sun comes back out here at London Stadium. Campbell is tripped by opposite number Engels, and that'll be a free kick to Charlton Athletic on the halfway line. And there's a bullishness and a confidence about Charlton. They've got their chest puffed out in the early stages. It is 0-0.
To be fair, you just saw the intent there. When the ball came in from Scarles from that left-hand side, we ripped the ball across 6-yard box. Okonkwo gathered it just to his left-hand side. His first thought wasn't just to lay on the ball and just calm everybody down. He just got it and he delivered it out to Tyrese Campbell on this left-hand side to try and hit West Ham on the counter-attack. So that just shows you, Joe, obviously won their 2 games, that, positivity, rather than just trying to kill the game in the first 5 minutes.
That's the voice of Perry Groves, former Arsenal winger, alongside me. High ball by Coventry, thundered up the inside right. 2 in West Ham, Claret and Blue went for it. Scarles and Kilman. Leeburn really showing the value of his presence in this Charlton team as he went up for the header there. It's bounced off Kilman in the end and out of play for a Charlton throw, and that is a Charlton centre-forward right in the middle of 2 big West Ham defenders.
Yeah, that's exactly what to do. He's got to use his body, use his physical presence, just make sure that he engages them, so he gives them a hard time. So now's a chance for Charlton to hoist a long throw-in.
Here it comes from Carey, from the right, far side, into the near post. Kumetia went for it, Jones with a bicycle kick, and he scored! Lloyd Jones, the captain, for Charlton Athletic! What a finish! Improvised it was, stupendous it was, and the Charlton fans go mad. Away to the right-hand side, and 6 minutes into their first home league game of the season, West Ham United are behind. The acrobatics of Lloyd Jones. West Ham 0, Charlton 1.
Well, that's not unusual from Jones, because as the throw-in comes in, as it bounces, West Ham don't get the first header. Then, as it bounces up again, it's a fantastic acrobatic overhead kick from the centre half. So West Ham defend it really, really poorly. Just bounces up, he takes first touch of his chest, and as it just flicks up in the air, Mavropanos or Kilman, they've got to get to him a lot quicker, and that enables Jones just to have that acrobatic overhead kick. Gives Hermanson absolutely no chance low down to his left-hand side. What a fantastic start from Charlton Athletic.
What a finish! We've just seen it again on the monitors in front of us here, and he catches it perfectly. The second goal of the season for Jones, who also scored in the win over Derby last weekend. It'll be interesting to see, the longer the scoreline stays like this, how the West Ham United fans react. It is the worst possible start for West Ham, but what a dream opening for Charlton, who lead the London Derby by a 0-0. Scarles shuffling forward down the West Ham left, and he picks out the diminutive Solomon, wearing number 10. He will maraud in field to the midway point of the Charlton half. They work it wide right, now to Bowen. West Ham 1-0 down. Engels in the penalty area. The West Ham fans in front of us get to their feet, but Engels gives it away, straight to the feet of Bell. No doubt which of the 2 teams looks the better organised in the game so far.
Well, just said about the intent, didn't we, from Charlton, the positivity, and Nuno Espirito Santo will be absolutely fuming about the poor defending from the long throw from Charlton Athletic, because, as I said, it actually bounces in the 6-yard box, and then as it chests up from Jones, Kilman's got to be braver. Kilman's got to go and put his head in. He's got to make sure he gets kicked in the face. He doesn't. He lets Jones have that acrobatic overhead kick, which was a brilliant finish from Jones. You said there, got his goal last week against Derby County, the equaliser. Now he's put Charlton Athletic up in front here at the London Stadium.
8.5 minutes in, live on TalkSport 2, 1-0 to Charlton. As they poke it clear through Campbell in the left-back position, it'll be a West Ham United throw, and Nuno is out of the dugout to quickly give it back to Walker-Peters. Wants a little more impetus in the performance from his West Ham team. How about this for an early goal? Leicester 0, Burton Albion 1. So Leicester behind. Preston 0, Wolves 1 is the latest score. Fer Lopez has got that goal for Wolverhampton Wanderers in the Championship. Rochdale 0, Crawley 1, and you're up to date with the 3 o'clock kickoffs.
First ever meeting, Leicester and Burton in the Football League. Met 5 times before.
It gives you a sense of just how far Leicester have fallen, but what a great moment that is for Burton Albion, leading at the King Power Stadium. Engels for West Ham. The Championship record signing, £22 million. He smuggled it wide left to Scarles. Quick ball forward to Solomon, down by the dead ball line. Tries to twist and turn beyond Grant, plays it back to Conte. West Ham 1-0 down, and the atmosphere suddenly very flat, bar 3,000 away supporters. Walker-Peters 5 yards from the corner of the penalty area. Charlton have got everybody in the cream shirts back behind the ball at the moment and are defending stoutly. Southampton 1, Stoke 0 is the latest score. Kyle Larin has got it. Another goal for the Southampton frontman, looking for their first league win of the season today. And MK Dons 0, Huddersfield Town 1.
Yeah, Charlton just dropping back into that 4-5-1 formation. We thought they would, just leaving Leeburn up front, so they've got an out ball. But in the wide areas, Campbell and Grant making sure they're getting back and protecting their fullbacks. West Ham dominating the ball at the moment, but it's all very lateral. There's not many forward passes. That enables Charlton just to ease their way up the pitch.
There is a forward pass from Mavropanos to Solomon, midway inside the Charlton half. Angled ball out to the left. Scars knocks it back in field. Conte in the sunshine, across to Engels with a square ball. Engels nudges it further wide into the path of Bowen. Bowen taking on the defender in a one-on-one, goes on the outside, drifts in the cross. Lovely ball headed away by Jones on the stretch. Straining every sinew there, Jones, to nudge it away. West Ham back on the attack with Solomon. Scars on the overlap, delivers the cross, and it's way too close to the goalkeeper. An easy take on his debut for Okonkwo, Perry.
Yeah, it's just been a good response from West Ham. Say on that front foot, just getting in the wide areas. Jarrod Bowen there on this right-hand side, on the outside of Bell, getting his right-footed crossing. Good defensive header from Jones. Comes back out to Skulls. Again, he should be whipping it across 6-yard box. Goes straight to Okonkwo. Then Charlton just put it further up the pitch, and they just give the ball away very, very cheaply.
The season is well and truly off and underway. We've got more live football in the Championship for you tomorrow from the Hawthorns at midday on TalkSport 2 for West Brom against Burnley. And the Monday night football over on TalkSport is Fulham against Chelsea. Another London derby here. Solomon left corner of the penalty area for West Ham. Weaving footwork as he nudges it back out wide to Scars, and now Conte. A lot of possession for West Ham, but it's Charlton who are in front, and Nathan Jones's team, you feel, will relish the opportunity to defend this 1-0 lead. They are really a robust, obdurate team, difficult to break down.
Well, you saw there when the ball went out to Solomon on West Ham's left-hand side, the first player to engage him was Carlin Grant, who obviously the right winger for Charlton, just make sure he's protecting his fullback.
A little flick by Piroe, but he's beaten to it by Jones on the edge of the penalty area. Jones with the early ball, and Grant surges over the halfway line, and this is a promising counter here for Charlton. Grant hugging the touchline on the far side of the field, tries a cross, deflection off Scales. Charlton corner, and Charlton actually, at the moment you could argue, look more likely to get the next goal in the game, leading as they do 1-0.
Well, again, there's that counter-attack, or is it transition? What have I got? What's the term? We're saying counter-attack.
We were talking about vertical passes.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Basically, it means you're passing forward. So there was a pass forward there from Charlton on their right-hand side to Grant, and Grant just travelled with it really, really well, about 40-50 yards. That enabled Charlton to get themselves further up the pitch, tries to get his cross in, block at the near post, another corner for Charlton on their right-hand side.
Middlesbrough lead at Blackburn by a goal to nil. Corner for Charlton, pour into the near post by Grant. It took one bounce and was hacked away by Scales, high up into the bright blue sky. Charlton able to recycle possession because everybody was back for West Ham. McNamara can clip a high ball into the penalty area. Jones is still forward. The goal scorer heads it on, but it'll take one bounce and drift harmlessly through to Mads Hermansson as Barnet take the lead away at Shrewsbury in League 2. Now then, out on the left-hand side for West Ham is Solomon, their new number 10. Scales is on the overlap, getting forward a little belatedly, and Solomon stumbles amid the challenge of Chalobah. Charlton win it back through Grant. He will clip it high over the halfway line. Campbell in a foot race with Mavropanos, who surely had to be favourite. He hooks it away, out of play. Charlton thrown, you have to say, Nathan Jones could not have asked. I mean, we're not quite a quarter of an hour in, but if he'd planned a dream quarter of an hour to open this game, it would have been a bit like this, I think, Perry.
Yeah, and they look positive when they're counter-attacking, because even there we saw Grant coming in for that right-hand side. His first thought was, could he release Campbell down the left-hand side? Just puts it in that channel. That means that Mavropanos have got to come across, puts it out for throw-in. That enables Charlton to recycle the ball, but just Chalobah's been very, very sloppy in possession.
Castellanos won it back, equally sloppy from Conte, and you hear the moans and groans of the West Ham fans as he gives it away. West Ham have to go back to the halfway line, and they'll start again with Conte, the young midfield player, former Paris FC player, who made 11 Premier League appearances last season. They've worked it wide to Bowen. 1-0 down here, West Ham. Bowen in field, onto the left foot with a curling shot that is so far wide it nearly goes out for a throw.
Well, Jarrod Bowen, come and see what you could have won, because as he's just cutting on the left-hand side, we know he's going to try and get his shot in, but what he needs to do, he needs to be just wrapping his left foot around the outside of the ball, and he's just skewed it completely with the outside of his left foot. Probably got closer to the corner flag than what it did actually to the goal.
And Charlton 15 minutes in, slowing the game down, and Castellanos not happy with Jones. He's raced across to get the ball so that play can restart. He is A combative figure, Tati Castellanos, but that's got the West Ham fans going. And that is a dangerous game to play if you're Charlton, because anything that gets the West Ham fans back behind their team and back involved in the game will really perk the atmosphere up here.
Yeah, I think the captain, Lloyd Jones, just obviously trying to take the sting out of the game, because West Ham, you know, have been on the front foot for this last 2 or 3 minutes.
And they're on the attack again with Scarles on the underlap, raiding down the far side the left, a long way from our commentary position. The former running track is still in play here at London Stadium. It's covered by that claret and blue carpet. Out on the near side, the right, is the number 2, Walker Peters, long sleeve shirt. Shovels the ball infield to Piroe, and he shepherds it square to Engels, knocks it wide to Solomon. Solomon taking on the defender, McNamara, cuts infield onto the right foot, Solomon curler! And it's headed over the top by Kumetio. That might have been bound for the far corner, as West Ham get a corner. 1-0 down at home to Charlton.
Yeah, Solomon's been lively on that left-hand side, just cuts inside McNamara, just gets it onto his right foot. Some really good contact. Kumetio just gets his head, it goes onto it, goes over the crossbar, corner for West Ham on their right-hand side.
Bowen gets a hearty round of applause as he comes across to take it, short to Solomon. He nudges it further square to Walker Peters, and now Engels with a low drive. That's blocked. Down goes Mavropanos in the penalty area. Nothing given by the referee. Loud appeals, and Mavropanos with his arms outstretched, but the referee not remotely interested. West Ham win it back through Engels. Now he'll drive down the inside right. Little square ball over hit towards Bowen, who wasn't expecting it to come his way. And Charlton Athletic win it back. Exeter City 2, Accrington Stanley 0 is the latest score. Wrexham 0, Watford 1, and Wigan 0, Leyton Orient 1. Here goes Solomon, edge the D for West Ham, smuggles it forward, Castellanos is tripped. That'll be a free kick, surely no. Referee Andy Kitchen unmoved. It looked as though Castellanos was tripped right on the edge of the penalty area. Nothing's given. Charlton lead 1-0, but this is easily West Ham's best spell of the 17.5 minutes we've had so far.
Yeah, and it's Solomon coming in for that left-hand side, who's causing a few problems. Just see there, as he got the ball in the 10 position, then Grant come back, just got his little toe in, again doing his defensive job for Charlton Athletic. I think for your Nathan Jones, the Charlton manager, you just don't want your team to go as passive as they have in that last sort of 3 or 4 minutes. And just looking at West Ham, obviously Engels and Conte are playing in that centre midfield area. It's Engels who's probably sitting that little bit deeper, and Conte's got that sort of...
All given away. Leeburn is 30 yards from goal for Charlton. Leeburn driving onto the edge of the penalty area, onto his right foot, and he smashes it off the top of the woodwork. A big warning for West Ham United. Miles Leeburn bullied his way forward towards the edge of the box after it was given away by Carl Walker-Peters. And Charlton were not far away from making it 2-0.
Yeah, it was really good closing down from Campbell initially from Charlton. Say, picked Walker-Peters' pocket, and at first it looked like Leeburn could see that Hermanson was well off his line, wasn't he, outside his 18-yard box. He thought he was maybe going to have a drilled lob, try and just put it into the back of the net, decides just to carry it, goes on the outside of Kilman, gets his right foot shot in, but hits the side netting.
Yeah, it might just have come off the stanchion behind the goal rather than the corner of the crossbar and post as it looked initially. But Charlton proving that they are a threat on the counter, and here they come again with Grant driving forward, early ball towards Leeburn in the box. Mavropanos steps across authoritatively to win it back for West Ham United. Port Vale 1, Tranmere is the latest score. Swindon lead Cheltenham by a goal to 0, and it's Derby 0, Cardiff 1 here in the Championship. Early ball by Bowen into the area looking for Engels. Low ball in is too close again to a Okonkwo, but that was neat play by West Ham.
Yeah, it was really good play down that right-hand side. Jarrod Bowen just getting it off at Engels. Engels going on the underlap, getting himself in the 18-yard box. He should be cutting it back to Castellanos, and he's tried to roll it across the 6-yard box to Piroe. Just picked the wrong option there, Engels, but again just a sign of West Ham just getting a little bit more of a foothold in the game.
Kean Ashford got that Cardiff goal at Pride Park. Cardiff looking for their first league win back in the Championship, and Derby a long way still to go, but they could start the season with 3 defeats from 3. Scarles with an early ball in for West Ham, away by Jones on the half volley. It'll bounce down to Grant, who tries to smuggle it upfield, doesn't do so. Castellanos then hooks it hurriedly over his shoulder, a bit too quickly for Solomon, and stretching back, pedalling to head it clear was Jones again. 1-0 Charlton lead, 20 minutes gone. Leeburn draws a foul just shy of the halfway line, and he's done everything that you would want a big front man to do in the opening 20 minutes.
That is archetypal hold-up play from your big, strong front man, because of the ball just rolled up that right touchline from McNamara. What he does first, he makes sure he backs into Kilman first, puts his left arm out so Kilman can't get to the ball, then he just holds him off with his upper body. Kilman gets frustrated, puts his arm in the middle of his back, Leeburn goes to the floor, just releases that little bit of pressure for Charlton Athletic.
Perry Groves is here with us on TalkSport 2, happy after last night, and the first game of the Premier League season that we brought you over on TalkSport. 120 Premier League games live with us on the network this season. Carey driving forward for Charlton and shooting low, and testing Hermansen, who plunges to his right to make a pretty simple save. I mean, if he'd been beaten by that, you'd have been asking big questions of the goalkeeper.
But again, it just shows you West Ham aren't working quick enough and have no urgency when they're out of possession, because Carlin Grant, who's looked really, really lively in that right-hand side for Charlton, comes in again into the middle of the pitch, then he can just roll it into Carey, who's playing in 10 position. Not one West Ham player comes out to close him down. He gets his shot with his right foot. Simple save from Hermansen low down to his right-hand side. But West Ham have to work harder when they're out of possession.
It's very leaden-footed, isn't it? Bowen with his back to goal, blocked off by Bell, who catches the ankles of Bowen. The West Ham talisman goes sprawling, and the captain actually will get to his feet and leave the free kick for Conte. It's a long way from goal, just forward of the lip of the centre circle.
Well, for who the bell tolls, and that's actually, it tolls for Jared Bowen. They're coming from that right-hand side. But again, Bell just making sure discipline just follows him all the way in so that Bowen can't get on the turn.
Conte looking to drive through the midfield, but he's held up by Leeburn. Conte goes on, Leeburn gets a foot in, tracking way back into his own half there, Miles Leeburn. And now Grant, who is a real outlet, the former West Brom player, on the right-hand side, back at the club where he began his career, and he holds it up equally effectively before rolling it back to McNamara, who plays it further backwards to Jones on the edge of his own penalty area. Kumetio, the ex-Liverpool player, steers it wide left into the full-back position, and Bell, who's carried it over the halfway line. He's run a long way here, Amari Bell, 40-50 yards, and still he goes, held up by Bowen, likewise by Engels, and Engels has done enough to force Bell into the error, and it's out of play for a throw to West Ham United.
Yeah, Kumetio did really well, because the ball looks like it was stuck under his feet on the edge of the 18-yard box, just rolled it out to Bell. Actually, Bell should just be pinging it out to Campbell on this left-hand side, decided to run with it. That enabled Jared Bowen to get back goal side and just get his challenge in.
And Stockport County trail at home to Blackpool by a goal to nil in League One. Stockport, who were beaten playoff finalists last season, and Wrexham with a quick equaliser at home to Watford. Wrexham 1, Watford 1 is a latest score. I'm hearing Ipswich have taken the lead at home to Sunderland on their return back to the Premier League. Ipswich 1, Sunderland 0. We'll confirm the goal scorer for you in the Premier League in just a moment. Adrian Durham taking you around the grounds around the country for all the goals as they go in on TalkSport today. Jared Bowen, right corner of the penalty area, dinks in the cross, Piroe went up for it, smuggled away, hit by Conte. That was a fizzing drive, but in the end, as you probably could tell by the ironic cheers of the 3,000 away fans, he's put it wide of goal despite the power behind him.
Yeah, to be fair, we just looked again at the discipline from Charlton Athletic's point of view, because as the ball comes into the box, Castellanos is trying to peel out to the far post. McNamara knows that his two centre-halves, Jones and Kumetio, have had to just shuffle across, so he comes in and then becomes like the third centre-half. He's the one who gets the header.
Emerson has got the goal in his Premier League debut for Ipswich at Portman Road today. Well, already we've seen an upset in the Premier League at Hull City beating Manchester United by 2-0, and are we on for the upset here at London Stadium? 1-0 Charlton.
Well, it's all about attitude, and we saw obviously earlier with Hull City beating Man United 2-0 that the Man United players were basically lazy. They were lazy off the ball, and Hull outworked them, and that's what you have to, any game that you play, you have to make sure that you work hard in your opposition. We're seeing Charlton Athletic here obviously getting that fillip of Jones, putting him 1-0 up with that acrobatic overhead kick. but they still, I like the way that they've set up, because they still look positive when they win possession back. And say, Karlan Grant on that right-hand side for this first 25 minutes has been absolutely outstanding.
To a man, you couldn't give any criticism of the Charlton performance. Kilman for West Ham, who've been rather laboured in the attack. Solomon trying to up the pace, away on the corner of the area, swings in a lovely cross, only needed a touch from a player in claret and blue, but nobody really close enough to it. Castellanos and Bowen were both up there, but it's over their heads and it soars behind for a goal kick.
Just seeing Castellanos there, obviously West Ham playing two up front with Piroe and Castellanos. When the ball comes in from Solomon from that left-hand side, he eases it in with his right foot. Castellanos goes to near post, Jared Bowen comes in, and Piroe is at the edge of the 18-yard box. Straight away, Castellanos turned around to Joel Piroe as if to say, you're a centre forward, get yourself on the far post.
He was too far away. In fact, Walker-Peters was coming in at the back post, but he was probably the closest to it. More ironic cheers from the Charlton fans, plenty of them decked out in the familiar red home shirts. They're in the cream change kit today. Lots of flags and banners away to the right-hand side. Derby 1, Cardiff 1, Derby level at Pride Park through Carlton Morris. Wickham 0, Plymouth 1 is the latest score. Campbell's darting down the left here for Charlton. Into the area he goes, but there's the flag up on the far side of the field, and West Ham will get a free kick. Elsewhere in the EFL, Colchester 0, Oldham 1, Rotherham 1, York City 0, and how about this, Leicester 0, Burton Albion 2.
Russell Martin under pressure.
Already.
My name stat of the day. Yep. Colchester United versus Oldham. They're 1-0 down. Colchester United have no wins last 8 at home against Oldham in the league. That's the most they've played against any side at home without a victory. Meanwhile,
here comes Scarles down the left-hand side to chip it back across towards Castellanos. He wanted it to drop for him on the volley. It was headed away, forward by Bowen. Castellanos does! He eventually get it on the volley, but I think the ball hit his shin, really looped up into the air, was never going to test a Conquo with that lack of power behind it. Good inventive play though by Bowen in the build-up.
Yeah, good first touch initially from Jared Bowen in the edge of the 18-yard box with his chest, just lifts it into Castellanos, and I think he's just got to back himself a bit more, because I think what he's tried to do is just hook it back across a Conquo in Charlton's goal, and what he should be doing with his volley, he should be actually having a firm volley down into the ground, low down to a Conquo's right-hand side.
Now, what did you say about that Colchester stat? Innocuous or
inane?
Inane, irrelevant?
It's not irrelevant to Colchester United fans, trust me.
Terry Groves is with us, former Arsenal winger and statman, here on TalkSport 2. As Stoke have got an equaliser at Southampton, it's 1-1. Ethan Galbraith with his first league goal for the club. Here come Charlton on the break again. Carey to Grant. Grant driving forward to the edge of the penalty area now. Can he get the shot away right-footed? He's held up by Kilman. Has to knock it wide to the overlapping fullback McNamara. On that far side of the field, Coventry infield to Grant. Coventry against his old team today. 1-0 to Charlton, nearly half an hour played on TalkSport 2. Bell's got the ball now for Charlton Athletic, and everybody back behind the ball for West Ham. Bright sunshine and blue skies here today in East London. Very short trip for the Charlton fans. Campbell, left wing position, taking on Walker-Peters, scampers into the area, lays it square, teed up for Carey. Carey pushes it further wide. McNamara driving towards the dead ball line and whipping in the cross-come shot that actually has gone behind. Hermansen caught it, but he couldn't prevent it from going behind almost into the side netting, and that'll be another Charlton corner, Perry.
You saw a little difference in the attitude of the defensive duties. When the ball came out to Tyrese Campbell on this left-hand side, he's 1v1 with Walker-Peters. Jared Bowen doesn't bother getting back goal side. He just jogs. That enables Campbell just to cut inside, roll it to Carey, out to McNamara. Charlton get a corner on their right.
Delivered in high by Karlan Grant. Up goes Jones again, looping header this time. And it's straight at Hermansen, the easiest of saves.
Yeah, Jones couldn't quite get himself over the top of the ball. Just a little bit of frustration from the West Ham fans, because West Ham bring all of their outfield players back. As soon as Hermansen caught it, there was nowhere for him to go. So I don't get it with coaches. Worst ways out, Joe, I would always leave at least one player up front.
Yeah.
I would go brave and leave two and put one on each side of where the halfway line meets the touchline. So if they're that wide apart, then worst ways out, the opposition have to keep 3 back, maybe 4. So and that enables you just to put that little bit of doubt in their mind where they can hit you on the counter-attack.
Half an hour gone, and West Ham have not seriously tested the Charlton debutant goalkeeper Arthur Okonkwo at all in the game so far. Be interesting to see the reaction of the West Ham fans at half-time if it stays like this. Conte on the halfway line has really overhit that pass under pressure. It swirls beyond Mavropanos, and out of play, needlessly conceded throw by West Ham United.
You'll just see there that sort of encapsulates how West Ham have played in this first half an hour, because they can't get into any rhythm. There's no fluidity about their play. We've had Walker Peters give the ball away a couple of times. Conte there said that under no pressure whatsoever, just actually hits the ball out of play, and it just suits Charlton Athletic, because you can just tell that, you know, they've started the game with confidence, Charlton, because they've won their 2 games, but even when they're in possession, they fancy their chances that they can get at West Ham.
And even to an extent, I mean, we look at Burnley last weekend, but even to an extent Portsmouth in the League Cup did that for certainly the first half, or patches of the first half here.
But just looking at West Ham at the moment, they're going to rely on, obviously, their very talented players that they have in the forward areas to get them out of trouble, because I don't see any patterns of play from West Ham. You know, I don't see, you know, like a philosophy. I know they've got new players. I know they've got a new partnership in the middle midfield with Conte and Arne Engels as well, so it might take a little bit of time.
You're right, it's get the ball to Bowen or Solomon and hope they do something special, isn't it? Rather than really having a style of play. Piroe with a good threaded pass, intercepted well though in the right back position. Suddenly is Campbell, a really hard worker as well as one of Charlton's key attacking assets, and he has run the ball out of play. It'll be a West Ham throw. Charlton leading 1-0 and relatively comfortable at the moment, though of course a single goal lead is always a slender one.
Yes, it just Nathan Jones just changed up a bit, where Campbell has gone over to the right hand side, Grant's come over to the left hand side. Who'd have thought it, a manager changing and swapping their wingers over.
There's a novel concept. Bowen in the wing position for West Ham, near side the right, and now Walker Peters back to Conte, just not moving the ball quick enough, West Ham. Kilman urged to shoot from miles out, he's not going to do it, he's going to play the ball out wide to Scarles. It's going to be a lot better this from West Ham. West Ham 0, Charlton 1, live and exclusive to national radio on Talk Sport 2. It gets worse for Leicester, 2-0 down at home to Burton, and Ollie Skip has been sent off, so Leicester down to 10 men and 2-0 down at home to Burton Albion. They are a troubled club at the moment. Engels, the number 7, the new number 7 for West Ham, picks out Conte. It's all very slow and one pace this from West Ham. You can hear the frustration of the crowd growing. Engels ball in, Bowen's touch, back to Bowen, back to goal, lays it off to Conte, onto the left foot. Conte nudges the ball further forward and Solomon is there, very crowded penalty area. Solomon has actually hit the ball away from goal there, headed clear by Carey in the end for Charlton Athletic. I don't know why Conte didn't go for goal, and it's hacked upfield by Miles Lieber.
So it's just one pass too many, and it's just a little bit too clunky. It should be like 1 and 2 touch, move it a lot quicker. And what they're doing is they're taking 3 or 4 touches. That enables Charlton to get their team shape. You said there, when they did move it, Jarrod Bowen gets it into Conte. All he's got to do is on the edge of the 18-yard box, just in the middle of the D, get it out of his feet, which he did with his left foot. Then he decides to take another pass to Solomon, and then that enables Charlton just to stay in their shape in the 18-yard box.
Solomon corner the penalty area here, being forced away from goal by McNamara, and Coventry makes a good interception on the edge of the D, forward towards Lieber, who held it up brilliantly, nudges it square to Carey, and suddenly it's 3 against 2. Here come Charlton Athletic on the counter. Grant is into the penalty area now. The ball from Carey wasn't the best. It allowed Mavropanos to get back and whip it off the toes of Grant and hook it out of play.
The wrong decision from Carey. It was a brilliant counter-attack. Miles Lieburn holding the ball up really well, just getting it into Carey. And all Carey's got to do with the outside of his right foot, Lieburn's in on the inside right position, decides to come to left-hand side to Grant and then overhits the pass. So again, it just shows you the threat of Charlton on the counter-attack, but if they pick the right pass, they rip West Ham apart.
Header away only as far as Campbell for Charlton, 30 yards from goal, and actually going further away with every moment that goes by, and he's lost out to Castellanos, and then it's hammered into the sky by Solomon. Nobody forward for West Ham. I have to say Piroe has had no impact on the game whatsoever so far, their new number 9. McNamara crossfield, right to left, and Charlton again, if anything, when they get the ball in the final third, look more likely to score again. In towards Kumetio at the near post. The centre-half takes a heavy touch and ends up deflecting it behind. It's a goal kick to West Ham. 10 minutes of the first half to go. West Ham 0, Charlton 1, and here's Perry Groves.
Yeah, Kumetio needed his velvet slippers on there, but he actually had divers boots, unfortunately for him. It's a good little ball in from Carlin Grant, so he's come onto this left-hand side, just bends it in with his right foot, a better touch, and Kumetio can get it out of his feet, but what we call a Tonka touch, just actually went about 20 yards away from him, went out for a goal kick. See Jarrod Bowen just coming, getting a little bit frustrated, just dropping a little bit deeper just to try and get the passing moves ticking over for West Ham. Again, you can hear the frustration of the West Ham fans because Kilman's got the ball and he's just carried it, just put it out to Scholes.
It's been an exceptional away performance from Charlton Athletic so far. And West Ham continue to look very flat-footed in the game, on and off the ball. Conte midway inside opposition territory, under little pressure, manages to squeeze it square to Engels. Engels into Bowen, and now Piroe dropping deep a long way from goal. Piroe has played the ball straight into the body of Coventry. Lucky that he got it back again, Piroe, via deflection, and now Engels hoists in a high cross, and that's catching practice for the goalkeeper in bright yellow, Okonkwo, who bowls it out straight away, and Campbell is going to tear forward down the right-hand side, raiding down that far side of the field. Campbell checks inside, onto the left foot, he's still going. Was he fouled by Conte? Actually, the free kick has gone the other way, a couple of yards from the edge of the penalty area, and Nathan Jones, arms outstretched. Can't believe it. Be interesting to see that one again on our monitor, Perry.
Actually, it looked like a foul there from Scholes, to be fair, because as Campbell just cuts inside him, Scholes goes across him with his left foot and trips him up. I have to say that Andrew Kitchen, the referee, has got that one totally wrong. You can understand Nathan Jones, the Charlton manager's frustrations.
Piroe looks up and shoots from range, and that is straight at the goalkeeper, and that, I make it, 37.5 minutes in, West Ham's first effort on target, Perry.
Yep, that's his first save that he's had to make, and to be fair, it was just right down the barrel. Wasn't a difficult save from Okonkwo. At least, like Joel Piroe's got the ball out of his feet and decided to have a shot, but this is very, very similar to the game against Portsmouth. Very, very similar to the way it went. Obviously, Portsmouth went 1-0 up, and West Ham managed to obviously get their equaliser and get themselves back into the game. But it's just been sort of very stagnant, and even there, we've just looked. Arne Engels, who's been brought in to get West Ham ticking over, he's just got to roll the ball out to the left-hand side to Scholes, and he's just put it out of play.
Sums it up. So far for West Ham, early season, but some worrying signs in this first half for Nuno Espirito Santo. Premier League latest scores: Everton 0, Palace 0, Ipswich 1, Sunderland 0, and Forest 0, Leeds 0. Hull beat Manchester United 2-0 earlier, live on Talk Sport, as Solomon is penalised. Foul on McNamara. In the Championship, Blackburn 0, Middlesbrough 1, Derby 1, Cardiff 1, Preston 0, Wolves 1, QPR 0, Bolton 0, Southampton 1, Stoke 1, Swansea 0, Sheffield United 0, Wrexham 1, Watford 1, and in the early kick-offs it finished Birmingham 2, Bristol City 2, Lincoln 1, Portsmouth 3, Millwall 3, Norwich 0. Will dip into League 2 in just a moment. Free kick Charlton just shy of the halfway line. Some of the West Ham fans heading for the concourses already, ahead of half-time, which is still 7 minutes away. Headed on by Leeburn for Charlton, and he's still trying to meet it on the edge of the box here, Leeburn. He's actually gone through the back of Engels, right in front of the referee. No doubt that was a West Ham free kick. League One latest, if it is 0-0, which it is at Wimbledon. Wimbledon 0, Reading 0, Bromley 0, Cambridge 0, Leicester a man down, and 2-0 down at home to Burton. MK Dons 0, Huddersfield 1, Peterborough 0, Mansfield 0, Stevenage 0, Oxford 0, Stockport 0, Blackpool 2, Wigan 0, Leyton Orient 1, Wickham 0, Plymouth 1, and earlier it finished Doncaster 0, Barnsley 0, and Luton 2, Notts County 2. We'll give you the latest from League 2 in just a moment. Equaliser for Sunderland at Ipswich. Nilson Angulo has got that goal for Sunderland, and Cardiff lead 2-1 at Derby in the Championship. Here come West Ham, 1-0 down, in need of something. Scars delivers a high ball into the area, looping header back in by Walker-Peters, and it's easy again for the goalkeeper. Just a lot of air on that. Simple take for the giant to Conquo, nobody even challenged it.
Yeah, just one full-back on the left-hand side from Scars to the right full-back, Walker-Peters, who gets his header. But the reason that he couldn't get a decent header in...
Piroe's chipped it over the top, Castellanos won't get there, again the goalkeeper there first to it.
It's because Carlon Grant, who's now playing on this left-hand side for Charlton, he made sure that he tracked Walker-Peters all the way back into the 18-yard box so he could get a free header.
And that typifies the Charlton approach so far. Every single player on the field looks like they have a defined role and they know exactly what they're doing, and that in contrast actually with West Ham, who it's a little bit
team of strangers,
hit and hope and hopeful football at the moment.
Yeah, team of strangers. Obviously they've got Engels making his debut in that middle of midfield area, Piroe makes his debut up front. Piroe and Castellanos hasn't worked. I think they've had one incident halfway through the first half where they had a link-up play where it come into Castellanos and he laid it off to Piroe and then put it out to Scars. Apart from that, there's been no sort of link-up play with them at all.
Here comes Bowen down the right, faced up by Grant towards the corner of the penalty area. Charlton have got everybody in the cream shirts and claret shorts back behind the ball here. As West Ham go out to the left, the far side, and Scars, who's forward, infield to Conte. In the 42nd minute, Solomon trying to weaving run infield. It's smuggled away by Chalobah before Piroe can snap up the loose ball, and out of play for a West Ham throw. Bowen, the captain, goes across to take it quickly. Bowen, a peripheral influence on the game as well. And Engels has misplaced so many passes in midfield. He makes this one square to Kilman. It was an easy ball, and now Scars infield from the left to Conte, back to Engels again. Long way out, too far out to shoot. Charlton putting up a defensive wall in front of West Ham. Charlton lead it 1-0. Solomon, the number 10. Corner of the area once more, rolls it backwards again to Engels, square to Mavropanos. Mavropanos thought about shooting, then played a very tame ball into the box that was cleared away by Coventry. Back to Mavropanos again.
Well, at the moment, everything is lateral passing from West Ham. Everything is in front of Charlton Athletic. So now they've just dropped into like a 4-4-2 shape. If I was Charlton, I'd be leaving Miles Lieburn just a bit further up front.
And he is darting forward now. The ball is on to Lieburn on the counter. Coventry has played it forward to Carey. He goes over halfway. Mavropanos steps in front of him to win it back. And now there might be a little bit of a gap for West Ham to exploit on the counter. 1-0 down. Solomon's ball out to the right and Engels. Engels a little slow, plays it square to Walker-Peters, nudges it forward, down the right-hand edge of the area, clipped in by Solomon, up goes Castellanos, good header away. That was one of the better balls into the box from a West Ham perspective so far. Mavropanos trying to win it back high up the pitch, and the ball bounces out of play. West Ham throw, level with the edge of the 18-yard box.
Yeah, good play from Solomon, just making sure as he gets closer to the byline, just dings up the far post. But again, it was real good defensive play from McNamara, the Charlton Athletic right back, because he has to come in and mark Castellanos and make sure that he gets the header exactly what he does. This is all about Charlton now, with just over a minute and a half to go for half time without added on time. This is about Charlton getting in 1-0 up at half time, because they want to go in with negativity that's going to be in this London stadium with the West Ham fans. They don't want to just give them that little leg up.
Everton 1, Crystal Palace 0. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall has opened the scoring at Hill Dickinson Stadium. And West Ham go back to the halfway line again, just over a minute of normal time remaining at the end of the first half. In League 2 earlier, it finished Bristol Rovers 5, Newport County 3, Salford 0, Chesterfield 1, Walsall 0, Grimsby 0. Latest scores: Colchester 0, Oldham 1, Crewe 0, Northampton 0, Exeter 2, Accrington 0, Fleetwood 0, Gillingham 0, Port Vale 1, Tranmere 0, Rochdale 0, Crawley 1, as Charlton win it back, and surging forward over the halfway line is Campbell, beaten to it on the slide by Scarles. Port Vale 1, Tranmere 0, Rochdale 0, Crawley 1 is the latest score, Rotherham 1, York 1, Shrewsbury 1, Barnet 1, and Swindon 1, Cheltenham 0. Leicester down to 10 men, but they get a goal back against Burton. Leicester 1, Burton 2. But it's very flat and quiet, the atmosphere here, after all the optimism in the build-up. And here come Charlton again. Grant edge of the area, little dink over the top, too long for Carey, and it's through to Hermanson. They have had moments on the counter where I think Nathan Jones might feel could they have made a little more of them? Because as we've been saying, as poor as West Ham have been, 1-0 lead is a slender one.
Yeah, they had a brilliant opportunity when they broke 2v2, and I think it was Carey that just picked the wrong pass where he could have hit the outside of his right foot to Lieberman, who's inside him on his right hand side, and decided to come out to Grant on the left hand side. But if Charlton can get in 1-0 up at half time, it has been the perfect away performance.
Minute of added time at the end of the first half. Conte edge the D, sliding in his Chalobah, firm but fair to win it back. Excellent challenge. Conte's going to slowly get to his feet. Meanwhile, play goes on for West Ham with Piroe. Out to the left and Scarles. He's played it back to Solomon. Solomon 35 yards out. Back out wide to Scarles again. Scarles chips in the cross. Castellanos with the header. Straight at the goalkeeper. West Ham's best moment.
Well, Castellanos has got to score. Really good play from Scarles on that left-hand side. Just eases the ball with his left foot. Castellanos is totally unmarked on the far post, and he's got to make sure he heads it back across the Okonkwo. He actually heads it down and heads it straight to him. That's West Ham's best chance of the match.
And a chorus of boos as the half-time whistle goes. And all of the optimism at the start of the game seems to have been wiped away already. A poor first half display from West Ham United, and pressure on Nuno Espirito Santo and his team to show something much better in the second half. But all credit to Charlton Athletic, who come here with a purpose and a plan, everything that West Ham haven't had in the first half. It has been a near perfect away performance, and thanks to the acrobatics of their captain Lloyd Jones, at half-time it is West Ham 0, Charlton 1.
Joe Shannon, thank you. Worry then for the West Ham faithful so far, because their side have been second best. Charlton superb in that first half. Perry Groves, you can understand that frustration, can't you, from the West Ham supporters, because they've been nowhere near good enough.
Well, we could just see the DJ at half-time playing Earth Ice Cream Food for Thought UB40. That virtually just sums up that first half of West Ham. They've played like the colour of Charlton Athletic shirts, just beige, just very, very beige. There's been no drive to their play. There's been no intensity, whether in possession with the ball, moving it far too slowly, off the ball. I think that their work isn't high enough. They've been outworked by Charlton Athletic. That's what you can't do in the Championship. Charlton have been brilliantly set up. You know, their shape is very, very good off the ball. That the 4-5-1 formation. We've got Miles Lieberman up front, who gives them that threat, and he's been holding the ball up really well. And I have to say, the outstanding player in the first half was Karlan Grant. He started off on the right-hand side for Charlton in the wide area, did his defensive duties, made sure that he protected McNamara when Solomon was getting himself the ball. Then they switched over. Who'd have thought it? Wingers switching over. There's one for the coaching badges.
You spoke before the game, Perry, about West Ham needing to keep the ball better. So far it has been so sloppy, and you look at the new signing, Arne Engels is coming for a record fee. I've lost count of the amount of times he's given the ball away.
Yeah, he's given the ball away. Walker Peters has been giving the ball away. Conte is the one who's got that sort of licence to roam, but he hasn't really affected the game. And I said before, like it's natural, basically sideways passing. You know, the new terminology is lateral. It's not enough passing forward for the coaches, the new coaches. That's vertical passing, not passing it forward quick enough. Piroe and Castellanos haven't really gelled up front. I know, obviously, you know, this is a West Ham team, you know, with their new teammates in there, but they're not getting the basics right. They're not actually just getting it into the wide. Solomon's looked lively-ish on the left-hand side for West Ham, but then when it comes in, they're just hopeful balls into the box. There's no sort of purpose with them. There's no whipping across the 6-yard box or bending it in with a little bit of pace. And it's been really easy. And if you look at Okonkwo in goal for Charlton Athletic, he's made 2 saves. One was in the 37th minute from a shot straight in from Piroe from about 20 yards, where it went straight down the barrel. And the last one, the second one, was a header from Castellanos, where he should be scoring with a free header, but he just heads it straight at him. Other than that, Okonkwo's been under no pressure whatsoever.
And Perry, we said, didn't we, if Charlton could quieten this place down, build that frustration for the home support, it's exactly what they needed to do. And it was the perfect start, wasn't it? The 6th minute, and it's a wonderful finish from Lloyd Jones, acrobatic. Is it harsh to say that Hermansen in the West Ham goal could have done a bit better? It was almost like it took him by surprise.
I think what it was, I think he might have been just a little bit unsighted because the ball bounces up, and I think Carey actually gets the assist, doesn't he, for the long throw, because it's a long throw. I wish I was playing now. I'd have got another 6 or 7 assists a season from a long throw. But the thing from West Ham's point of view is when the throw comes in, not one West Ham player gets the first contact. It actually bounces in the 6-yard box. That enables Jones just to get a chest control, which was really good. And then I'm looking at Max Kilman. He's got to make sure that he puts his head in, and even he gets the full boot in the face. He doesn't. He just sort of half turns his shoulder. That enables Lloyd Jones to acrobatically do his overhead kick. So I think from Hermansen's point of view, I think maybe he was just a little bit unsighted, goes low down to his left-hand side, and you'd have to say it wasn't against the run of play, because Charlton looked very, very dangerous on the counter-attack.
In fact, Perry, they could have more goals in this game with a bit of better decision-making, with better finishing. Charlton could be out of sight.
Yeah, there was an incident halfway through the first half where they broke on a 3v2, and I think it was Carey had the ball in the centre of the pitch, and then Lieber makes a brilliant run from the middle to the right-hand side, and all he's got to do with the outside of his right foot is roll in. He actually comes out to Grant on the left, overhits it. That enables West Ham just to get back and get their team shape. But you've got to say, it's the work ethic of Charlton Athletic, because they've outworked West Ham off the ball. I mentioned about an incident in the first half where it came out to Campbell on the left-hand side. He was 1v1 with Walker Peters. Jared Bowen's just jogging back. He's not sprinting back. If that's Grant or Campbell in the wide areas for Charlton, they are sprinting full pelt to make sure they get back and protect Bell on the left or McNamara on the right and do their job for the team. So there's a big half-time team talk coming for Nuno Espirito Santo. He has to make changes because it hasn't worked. This is the manager's, this is your job now. He has to tell you've got maybe Ward-Prowse to come on and get more grip in that centre midfield area. Mukasa can go in the wide areas. So you've got La Madrid, who's left winger or centre midfield. So he has to do something. The manager can't be at half-time and not affect the game, because none of his players have affected the game in the first half.
Work for West Ham to do. The hangover from last season's relegation in the air here in their first home game back in the Championship. You're listening to EFL Live on TalkSport 2 with Sage, the official accounting software partner of the EFL. We'll bring you all the half-time scores and the second half next on TalkSport 2.
Every emotion and total devotion.
This game on. This is TalkSport 2.
EFL Live on TalkSport 2 with Sage, official accounting software partner of the EFL, supporting the businesses behind the badge.
Enjoy the freedom of unlimited data with Vodafone. Save £288 with an unlimited data SIM-only plan. Hurry, offer ends the 16th of September. Vodafone.
Was £35 on 24-month unlimited plan, 100 megabytes max speed, 5G subject to coverage. Credit check and terms apply. Vodafone.co.uk/mobile.
The big hearts just got bacon. More smokiness, more crispiness, more deliciousness. With juicy beef, cheddar cheese and that big arch sauce. Now topped with crispy bacon. The Big Arch just got bacon.
Until the 28th of September 2026, served from 11 a.m, subject to availability.
All right, resistance up. Let's climb.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, my knee's playing up again.
Have you ever had it looked at?
No, but I've been doing a few stretches.
When my shoulder went, Benenden Health got me expert help. Showed me exactly where I was going wrong.
30 seconds, people.
Don't let niggles slow your stride. Access physiotherapy and much more for less than £16 per person per month. Search Benenden Health. Fee review periodically. T's and C's apply. Qualifying periods apply for some services, including physio. UK only. Visit benenden.co.uk.
When you're growing a small business, whether you've built a team of 20 or you're a one-man band, you need someone who understands the ins and outs. An HSBC small business banking account, you'll have access to our business specialists, in person and virtually, as well as no monthly account fee, because whatever your small business looks like, we're proud to support you. Search HSBC Small Business Banking Account to get started. Subject to eligibility, credit checks and T&Cs. Visit business.hsbc.co.uk for details.
EFL Live on TalkSport 2 with Sage, official accounting software partner of the EFL. Search sage.com and get started for free.
get pumped for a muscly Monday night of live Premier League football on TalkSport.
Oh, he's won it, surely!
Fulham versus Chelsea.
High-intensity pre-match workout begins at 7 with heavy-duty full-match commentary from 8.
And that settles it!
It's a muscle-bound Monday night of live Premier League football
on TalkSport.
This is Game Day. Halftime classifieds.
Good afternoon, this is EFL Live on TalkSport 2. I'm Ollie Clayton. We're at the London Stadium where it's West Ham 0, Charlton 1 at half-time. Work for the Hammers to do in their first home game of the Championship season. Time now for an update on all the half-time scores across the country, starting with
Premier League.
In the early kick-off, it finished Hull 2, Manchester United 0. At half-time, it's Everton 1, Crystal Palace 0, Ipswich 1, Sunderland 1, and Nottingham Forest 0, Leeds 0.
Sky Bet Championship.
In the early kick-offs, it finished Birmingham 2, Bristol City 2, Lincoln 1, Portsmouth 3, and Millwall 3, Norwich 0. At half-time, it's Blackburn 0, Middlesbrough 1, Derby 1, Cardiff 2, Preston 0, Wolves 1, QPR 0, Bolton 0, Southampton 1, Stoke 1, Swansea 0, Sheffield United 0, West Ham 0, Charlton 1, and Wrexham 1, Watford 1.
Sky Bet League 1.
Early on in League One, it finished Doncaster 0, Barnsley 0, and Luton 2, Notts County 2. At half-time, it's AFC Wimbledon 0, Reading 0, Bromley 0, Cambridge United 0, Leicester 1, Burton 2, MK Dons 0, Huddersfield 1, Peterborough 0, Mansfield 0, Stevenage 0, Oxford United 0, Stockport 0, Blackpool 2, Wigan 0, Leyton Orient 1, and Wycombe 0, Plymouth 1.
Sky Bet League 2.
And in the early kick-offs in League 2, it finished Bristol Rovers 5, Newport 3, Salford 0, Chesterfield 1, and Walsall 0, Grimsby 0. At half-time, it's Colchester 0, Oldham 1, Crewe 0, Northampton 0, Exeter 2, Accrington Stanley 0, Fleetwood 0, Gillingham 0, Port Vale 1, Tranmere 0, Rochdale 0, Crawley 1, Rotherham 1, York City 1, Shrewsbury 1, Barnet 1, and Swindon 1, Cheltenham 0. So here at the London Stadium, it is West Ham 0, Charlton 1. Lloyd Jones, the Charlton captain, with the goal. Just 6 minutes into the game, an acrobatic effort, and West Ham have not been good enough. Just 2 shots on target in that first half. We'll bring you the second half action in just a moment. But there was some interesting news that emerged this week from the EFL. West Brom's Arne became the first player to be charged by the FA with deception of a match official. That was after his hand guided in the first of West Brom's 2 goals in a 2-1 victory. Last Thursday, he was banned, Hegebo, retrospectively for 2 matches, the first time ever that has happened in EFL history. The goal has gone viral on social media, you may well have seen it, and it's led to some calling for VAR to be introduced by the EFL. Perry Groves alongside me. What do you make of those calls for VAR to be brought into the Championship and maybe below?
Whoever said that they want VAR to come in Championship should never be allowed to go into watch a football match again, because VAR, we love the Championship, we love the VAR, the EFL, because there's no VAR. The game flows better, you don't get as much simulation, you don't get as much diving. The referees, we've seen today, Andrew Kitchen, the referee, was just let the game flow. You know, he's just got told players to get up, and you don't want like it dissected by CSI Stockley Park, do you? And in any games at all. And Hegebo getting this ban is the biggest nonsense, honestly, that I've heard for a long time in football, because they said that he deliberately deceived the officials and the referee. He didn't, because when the cross, if you watch the actual action, when the cross comes in, the Norwich City goalkeeper Kovacic, he actually gets a slight deflection to it with his palm. The ball deviates, and what happens, Hegebo doesn't have 2 arm movements, it actually hits his left arm, which is on his forearm, by his side and goes in. And are you telling me that any footballer in the world is going to go up to referee and go, ref, I'd just like to let you know that that's actually hit me on the arm, so would you talk? Do you imagine if he did that, what the West Ham fans would do? Do you know what I mean? And the coaching staff, West Brom and the coaching staff would do. So if they're going to do this, and they want to be this smart, every time a player dives or simulates an injury, they've got to be banned for 2 games because they are deliberately deceiving the referee. If that's the road they're going down, that's what they have to do.
I'm totally with you, Perry, because it's such a grey area. Where do you draw the line? What is deception? When does a player definitely know that they've conned the referee? I'm with you that I think it's a nonsense that he's been banned for those 2 games. I heard the comments of Philippe Clement too, the Norwich City manager. Now, he has been calling for VAR. As you can imagine, there will be managers in the division who don't really mind what the fans think about the watching experience. They want the right decisions for their team, but Philippe Clement took it quite far. He ended up in a press conference naming all 81 countries that have introduced VAR. But at the same time, we know that VAR doesn't get things 100% correct. In fact, at times, we know that it makes the wrong decision. So as much as managers are there trying to call for this to come in, we know that it's not 100% correct in the first place, and the viewing experience is better, as you pointed out.
Very much so. And he said about, those countries, FAs that have introduced VAR, has he released the results of a poll that you've had from the fans in those countries, whether they want VAR to stay or whether they want it to go. And what happens is sometimes in football you can be unlucky because it's not the referee. That wasn't the I think it was Robinson was the referee. That's not his fault because he doesn't get the right angle. The assistant's on the far side, so he can't see it. So football isn't the perfect game. You know what I mean? You're not going to get everything that's right. That's why we love watching it, because the unscripted drama. And sometimes you might get on the wrong end of a decision, but just because it's one decision like that, which isn't deliberately deceiving the referee, that's no reason to go, right, what we're going to do is we're going to bring VAR in back in the Championship. I bet if you did a poll to the Championship fans of the clubs, I bet you 60-70% would say we don't want VAR nowhere near our game.
Well said, Perry Groves. We are about to get back underway then for the second half here at the London Stadium. West Ham trailing Charlton at the moment in their first home game of the Championship season. Let's hand back over to your commentary team. Perry Groves alongside Joe Shen.
Well, Perry called for changes. Nuno Espirito Santo has made 1. Conte has not reappeared for the second half. Lewis Orford, a straight swap, the former academy product in midfield. Orford, who had started the first 2 league matches of the season, so not short of game time anyway. The bubbles are blowing here at West Ham, but the atmosphere, understandably in the context, has been flat, and vast swathes of empty seats around the stadium as the second half begins in the bright sunshine. West Ham 0, Charlton 1 here on TalkSport 2, and West Ham get the game underway, playing from right to left in the second half towards the Bobby Moore end of the stadium. Claret and blue shirts, white shorts and white socks, and Charlton in the change kit today, playing from left to right towards the Sir Trevor Brooking end that houses the Charlton fans, who number 3,000 or so in a crowd of more than 60,000 today. Charlton cream shirts, claret shorts and black socks, and a very good back header, while backpedaling by Danny McNamara, who's not the tallest, really had to stretch to send it back to goalkeeper Okonkwo. So West Ham with Hermanson in goal, Walker-Peters, Mavropanos, Kilman and Scarles at the back. The 4 in midfield are Bowen, Conte, Orford and Solomon, Castellanos and Piroe up front. Charlton on the attack, early stages second half. Grant tries to whip the ball in, and it's headed behind by Kilman for a Charlton Athletic corner. Here's Perry Groves.
Yeah, just really good link-up play on that right-hand side. The ball came into Lieber and just laid it off to McNamara. That enabled Grant to get released on this right-hand side. Tries to get the cross in the end it's decent defending from Kilman at the near post. But just really good play from Lieber and Grant and McNamara. It just shows there's more understanding and more fluidity in the Charlton passing when they're in possession, which you've not seen from West Ham. And Charlton have started this second half much the same as they started the first half.
Well, the referee has actually booked Kilman here for a challenge, a late challenge on Lieber, I think it is, who's limping to his feet. Charlton have got virtually everybody forward for this corner, leading 1-0. West Ham have brought everybody back. I'll give you the Charlton team in full in just a moment, as plenty of West Ham fans still to retake their seats. Short corner to Carey, back to McNamara to hoist it high into the box. Free header for Kumetio, back across goal. Bowen is first to it, and he'll scamper away with the ball for West Ham. Caught from behind by Chalobah, and that is a West Ham United free kick. West Ham want to take it quickly, but Bowen was 10 yards further forward from where the incident was, so the referee, Andy Kitchen, understandably at that point is going to say, come back and take it from where it should be. Charlton with Okonkwo in goal, McNamara, Jones, Kumetio and Bell at the back, Coventry and Chalobah holding, Campbell, Carey and Grant behind Leadburn. Jones with the acrobatic effort to put them in front in the first half, and Charlton thoroughly merit their lead. What do you make of the West Ham change, Orford for Conte?
Yeah, Lewis Orford will drop that little bit deeper. He'll play that sort of holding midfield role. Looks like that means that Arne Engels can play that little bit sort of further forward, just basically playing in like the 10 position.
Over on the far side, the right for West Ham is Walker-Peters. Back to Orford again. Orford lays it square away from Kilman. Solomon does well, the diminutive Solomon, to race across and keep the ball for West Ham. Scarles back to the sturdy Kilman on halfway again, and now Mavropanos in the centre circle. Little touch to find Orford, and it's rather slow and ponderous for West Ham, sluggish as it was in the first half. Orford nudges it wide to Bowen. He goes on the outside, low ball in, cleared away at the near post by Kumetio. That was a bit better from West Ham, a little more direct. Bowen on the ball, decent cross, well defended.
Yeah, good defending from Kumetio at the near post. Jarrod Bowen just gone on the outside of Bell. It was good play actually from Orford. So he's just getting himself on the ball. He's had 4 or 5 touches already at the beginning of this second half. He's the one who's trying to get it ticking over, but a couple of times he looked up, you said there's no movement, there's no explosive movement from Piroe or Castellanos to try and move Jones and Kumetio, the 2 Charlton centre-halves.
Bowen back post, nods it down, Castellanos takes a swing, Bowen chips it towards the far post, the ball has ended up in the net, but it won't count because the referee has given a free kick for a foul on Solomon, it would appear, earlier on in the move. He blew his whistle long before it actually ended up in the back of the net. I think Jones actually sliced his clearance. There's a yellow card out of the pocket of the referee for McNamara, and that late challenge on Solomon is why the referee's blown his whistle, and why he has given a free kick, and why it's still 1-0 to Charlton.
Well, the West Ham fans think that there's a rat in the kitchen because they actually thought they've equalised, but to be fair to Andrew Kitchen, the referee had blown his whistle a lot earlier because it was a sliding, sort of scything tackle from McNamara on Solomon, but a really dangerous free kick now for West Ham, just on the left-hand side, about 6 yards from the touchline. 5
minutes into the second half, no great improvement from West Ham so far. Nuno watches on the edge of the technical area with his arms folded here. Engels is standing over the ball a couple of yards from the dead ball line. Free kick in the Bobby Moore end. Engels to fizz it into the near post, headed away, drops towards Castellanos. Grant scrambles it clear, only as far as Solomon, knocks it back out wide. Loads of time for Engels to play a square ball to Scarles, who then will chip it cross field, straight out of play. And listen to the furious reaction of the West Ham supporters. Boos and jeers, West Ham fans out of their seats on the far side of the field, and they continue to fume as West Ham continue to labour here, a goal down to Charlton.
That was such poor play from Ollie Scarles there. Just gets the ball from Engels. All he's got to do is just roll it out simply to his right hand side, and what he's done is he's just, instead of just rolling it with the instep with his left foot, he's actually pinged it. And I think he thought that Walker-Peters was going to be coming on that right hand side, and there was nobody there. There wasn't a West Ham, I'm not exaggerating, there wasn't a West Ham fan within a player. Was actually, the West Ham fan was closer to the player than the player
by the
was.
time the ball went
exactly,
out.
Yeah, because it was like not West Ham, one West Ham player was 20-30 yards in the vicinity of the ball.
I thought Engels took the easy option there as well. He could have whipped that into the penalty area quite easily, surely. Bowen out on the right wing for West Ham, driving forward towards the dead ball line, whipping in the cross, headed away by Kumetio. Charlton's lead still a slender one, though they are relatively comfortable for now. Derby 2, Cardiff 2, equalised for Derby. Blackburn 1, Middlesbrough 1 in the Championship. Rovers level as West Ham come forward again with Solomon, and Peterborough lead Mansfield by a goal to nil in League One. Here is Orford, wearing number 61 for West Ham United. Out wide left to Scarles. His delivery hits the back of Grant, comes back to Scarles again. He'll roll it backwards to Orford, and a square ball into the middle of the park where Walker-Peters is standing, inverted position. Now Mavropanos carries it forward, 35 yards out, 1-2 with Bowen. Mavropanos can't force his way through, it's cleared upfield by Kumetio, and Campbell now has beaten the defender in a foot race, so it looked as though he'd beaten the retreating Engels initially. Engels got back to produce a decent header, and then Orford is taken out just shy of the centre circle, and that'll be a West Ham free kick. They're trying to move the ball a little quicker, they're dominating possession, but they still trail 1-0.
Yeah. Just a good chance for a counter-attack there for Charlton Athletic from Kumetio. He puts the ball close to the touchline and Campbell could be in, but it was really good defensive play from Arne Engels, just making sure that as the ball bounced that he got to it first, enables West Ham to recycle possession.
This is TalkSport 2. West Brom Burnley live with us tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Bowen infield from the right-hand side, left-footed cross up towards Piroe, headed away. It'll bounce down to Solomon. A little more pressure on Charlton now. Solomon square. Bowen takes over, drives it goalwards, takes a deflection off Jones, loops behind for a West Ham corner. That was better.
Yeah, Joe Bowen just starting to be a little bit more influential, coming in from that right-hand side, just getting the ball onto his left foot. Little fed ball from Solomon there, just in the edge of the D. Gets his shot in, really good block from Jones. Corner for West Ham on the left-hand side.
8 minutes into the second half. And all the action that has taken place so far in the second period has been at the end away to our left. West Ham attacking that end at the moment. Engels is getting ready, the number 7, to take the corner. The referee's seen something he doesn't like in the penalty area. Having a word with Mavropanos at the moment. A cluster of bodies in and around the penalty spot. That's where Mavropanos is, with his marker Chalobah, who's very good in the air. And now the referee's having a word with Jared Bowen, and there's a Charlton player down on the edge of the 6-yard box, and I think Jones and Coventry are claiming that the player was elbowed perhaps, and is the referee going to have to go across and speak to his assistant here? A lot happening off the ball. What do you make of it, Perry Groves?
Actually, Castellanos has just put his palm of his hand in the face of the Charlton defender. And lucky enough for Castellanos, the assistant is too far away on that right-hand side. Obviously, Andrew Kitchen is dealing with Chalobah and Mavropanos, so Castellanos has got away with one.
A lot of jostling involving Bell and Kilman at the far post as well. And Andy Kitchen still delaying the taking of the corner. I guess you can understand that. So much jostling going on, so much holding inside that 6-yard box. In by Engels, header goalwards is straight at the goalkeeper from Castellanos, who eluded his marker, but it's an easy catch in the end for Arthur Okonkwo.
Yeah, it was unlucky actually from Castellanos. Good movement coming from the centre 6-yard box, just getting to the near post. Decent do from Engels, and just charged a glancing head up, and it just goes straight to Okonkwo. Simple save for the Charlton Athletic goalkeeper.
Blaze long for Charlton up towards Leeburn. Mavropanos is nearly caught. He is caught. It's run back for Campbell. Campbell into the area now! Puts it in the bottom corner! What a finish! Tyrese Campbell, 3 in 3, and a second at London Stadium for Charlton Athletic. West Ham gave the ball away. Massive mistake from Mavropanos, and they were punished by Tyrese Campbell. Charlton lead the London derby by 2-0, and it gets worse and worse for Nuno Espirito Santo and this troubled-looking West Ham United.
Tyrese Campbell, it's only make-believe. 3rd goal in 3 games. What is Mavropanos doing? Just gets himself caught on the ball, just really sloppy play. Leeburn does brilliantly, picks his pocket, comes to Tyrese Campbell. There's a player that is at the top of his game, because as soon as he got it and the edge of the 18-yard box, gets the ball onto his right foot, he has no hesitation. He knows that he's going to bend it low down to Hermanson's left-hand side, starts the ball about a yard outside the post. It's a magnificent finish, uses the defender as the shield. Kilman should go and get a bit closer. He tries a long barrier. Tyrese Campbell just bends it round him. Charlton Athletic go 2-0 up here against West Ham at the London Stadium.
What was Mavropanos thinking? I think he was desperately hoping there that he was going to get a free kick. Referee didn't think so, and rightly so. And Charlton are punished by clinical Campbell.
But that just shows you the difference in work ethic from Charlton Athletic to West Ham, because that's Leeburn doing the horrible stuff, making sure he puts Mavropanos under pressure, just robs him, gets it to Campbell. So Kilman's got to do better and come out and engage the ball. He doesn't, and Campbell just bends it round him. Wow, this is really going to test West Ham, the players and the fans. because the fans need to get behind their team. But to be fair, the fans aren't seeing anything that they can actually get behind.
A test of character for West Ham United. A test that so far they have failed to pass. 2-0 down now, live on TalkSport 2. Without a league win coming into today. It is just the second league game of the season, but the problems are piling up for Nuno Espirito Santo already. Solomon out in the left wing position, jinking run in field, lays it back to Orford. Orford is 25 yards out, he'll push it wide to Engels. Engels out to the far side of the field, there's Bowen to pick it up. He'll take on Bell, down to the dead ball line, whips in the cross, Castellanos goes up, and a brilliant bit of defending at the back post by Danny McNamara to head it behind Perry Groves.
I think that's about the fourth time that Danny McNamara has made sure that he goes and protects his two centre-halves, because Jones and Piroe have been sort of sucked to the near post, understandably, so therefore McNamara knows he's got to get on the far post. He stops Castellanos having a free header.
Bowen's corner, left-footed, easy for a Okonkwo. That just floated into the 6-yard box. Goalkeeper could almost stand statuesque and pluck it out of the air. Rochdale 1, Crawley 1, equaliser for Rochdale. Blackburn lead Middlesbrough by 2-1. MK Dons 1, Huddersfield 1. Here come Charlton again, 3 against 3. Chalobah, right edge of the penalty area. Chalobah held up as he looks to get away from Engels, and Orford is right behind him as well. Chalobah has reached the corner flag, but he's knocked it out of play. Goals elsewhere: Swindon 2, Cheltenham 0, Everton 2, Crystal Palace 0. Tierno Barry has got Everton's second of the day, and it's Crewe 1, Northampton 0 in League 2, and you're up to date around the grounds around the country. If you want goals as they go in, you can listen to Talk Sport this afternoon. Adrian Durham and the team taking you around the grounds. Just download our free app to swipe between the two stations. But a very interesting developing story here, where it's West Ham 0, Charlton Athletic 2, and they are not just dancing in the stands but singing emphatically, loud and proud, the Charlton supporters away to the right. They are in dreamland, and it's turning into a nightmare start to the season at home, this for West Ham, with an hour gone, and there seems no end to this leaden-footed football that we continue to see from West Ham United. No incisiveness, no real refinement in their play in the final third. Good turn by Solomon though, surging into the area, trying to make a space for a right-footed shot. Tees up Piroe with a curler, pushed away by the goalkeeper and nudged behind by McNamara on the rebound.
Really good play from Solomon. Just gets himself on the half turn on the left-hand side of the 18-yard box, rolls it to Piroe, who's in the D. Piroe's just trying to bend it into Okonkwo's top right-hand corner. Simple save actually from Okonkwo. He's one for the cameras, where he goes with his left arm across his body. Corner for West Ham on their left-hand side.
Mansfield have equalised at Peterborough United. It's 1-1 at London Road. Here at London Stadium, 2-0 to Charlton. Corner West Ham, in swinging by Engels, headed away, only as far as the far post, and Castellanos. West Ham on paper carry plenty of threat. Castellanos delivers, good header by Lee Byrne away from danger. Brilliant touch from the Charlton centre forward, and now Campbell, score of the second goal, tees up Coventry. They look such a threat on the counter, and it's 2 against 2 again. Tyrese Campbell surging down the left hand side, 2 in the middle. Campbell's cross, good goalkeeping by Hermansen, stretching across the 6-yard box. He had to gather that, and he did, and a quick throw out to Joel Piroe over the halfway line. Suddenly there's a bit of intensity and pace to this game. Out on the right hand side for West Ham is Walker Peters, rolls it infield to Bowen, edge of the penalty area now, right of centre. Bowen faced up by a sea of Charlton shirts. He goes square to Scarles. Further wide is Solomon. He's the danger man. Solomon, tricky player, checks onto the right foot, goes back out wide, onto the left, fizzes in the cross, and it's headed away. Well, West Ham could easily be called out more on the break here if they're not careful. Referees played an advantage as West Ham have the ball. Left corner of the penalty area is Solomon. Back to Orford, delivers to the back post, and sliding in, Castellanos can't get there. Let's get the thoughts of the former Arsenal winger Perry Groves.
Well, it's brilliant goalkeeping from Hermansen, because he just stops his team from going 3-0 down. Brilliant counter-attack from Charlton Athletic on their left-hand side. Ball gets out to Tyrese Campbell, and with the outside of his right foot, he's just trying to roll it in between the 6-yard box and the penalty spot to Grant, who's in the far post. Doesn't quite get the right technique with it. Hermansen is able just to dive down to the left-hand side and intercept the ball. Otherwise, the game is done and dusted. So West Ham have got to take a few more risks, but what happens there is they take risks, they leave themselves more open. And the difference we've had here today, Joe, is you've got one that's playing as a team, which is Charlton Athletic, and West Ham are playing with a bunch of individuals. That's the complete difference. There's a togetherness about Charlton Athletic, which I'm not seeing from West Ham. There's a know-how, there's a structure, which I'm not seeing from West Ham. There's an intensity to do the horrible stuff. If you think how many clearances Jones and Kumetia have had, the two West Ham centre-halves, and McNamara as the right-back, look at the 2 goals they've conceded. Kilman should put his head in, Jones has his overhead kick, and then the second goal, Mavropanos gets caught on the ball, Kilman doesn't go and close down, he gets the ball bent round him, Charlton go 2-0 up.
It sums up the difference between the two sides, and a heavy back pass by Mavropanos. Hermansen, all in green, controlled it well, the goalkeeper. Clattered upfield by Scarles, high raking ball down the left. Jones will just thump it up into the air. Looks every inch a solid Championship centre-half. Lloyd-Jones, and Charlton lead 2-0, looking for 2 wins from 2 to start the league season. Here come West Ham. Piroe's ball, threaded down the inside left. Solomon across goal and steered away by Kumetia. I think it's a throw to West Ham rather than a corner. Solomon's going to leave it here for Scarles to come forward. Scarles actually didn't get the chance to take it. It's taken by Engels instead. West Ham with a lot of work to do, but there's still time. 27 minutes plus added time remaining here on TalkSport 2. But are we going to see one of the big shocks of the Championship season, having seen Hull City beat Manchester United in the Premier League earlier? Solomon works the ball wide towards Scarles, dead ball line, whips in the cross, goalkeeper stays at home, drops down to Bowen right edge of the penalty area, Bowen shoots, deflected over the top, it'll spiral behind for a corner.
Well, if anything is going to happen for West Ham, and they need creativity, is coming from Solomon. Solomon is the only one who's looked like he's game ready and he's on point. There's a really good cross from his left-hand side, goes to Jarrod Bowen, he gets his shot in, really good block from Bell, corner for West Ham on their right-hand side.
He'll be swung in left-footed here by Bowen in front of the Bobby Moore end, into the near post, flicked on and over the top by Orford. That just took a bounce off the roof of the net. This is EFL Live on TalkSport 2 with Sage, the official accounting software partner of the EFL, and a change for Charlton, their first change of the game. Off goes Sonny Carey, and on comes a South Londoner in 19-year-old Alan Mwamba with his 5th senior club appearance. So a lot of trust being shown in him by Nathan Jones today. But Charlton look like they have really worked hard over the course of the summer to learn the lessons of last season's relegation scrap, and they look well-placed and so well drilled early on this season.
The referee Andrew Kitchen has said that Sonny Carey didn't get off the pitch quick enough because
so
he
he's
had 10 seconds. So now Charlton are down to 10 men.
For a minute. It's 11 against 10, albeit temporarily. Wigan 0, Leyton Orient 2 is the latest score in League One. 2-0 down here, West Ham. Orford, there's no atmosphere in the ground either. Nothing positive anyway. You can understand that from the West Ham perspective. They're not being given very much. It's real scraps at the moment to try and get back into the game from Solomon or Bowen, who are both very wide at the moment, the two wing players. Bowen hugging the touchline on the far side, the right, and now he drills the ball infield, square to Kilman. Kilman flicks it up slightly, 35 yards out, nudges it wide to Solomon. Solomon immediately looking to be positive, immediately looking to drive towards the edge of the box. He's got 2 defenders to contend with. Back to Scarles, dinks in the cross, header goalwards wide. Castellanos was up there, decent effort, but he couldn't direct it on target. If he had done, it might have been a goal back for West Ham, as Mwamba is finally able to get on the field and Charlton are back to their full complement.
Yeah, it was a good movement from Castellanos, just making sure that he's getting himself in front of, I think it was Bell at that far post, just getting inside him, just a little glancing head up, decent delivery in from Scarles.
And a foul on Lieber. Difficult to see West Ham getting back into this game the way that it's going. And Colchester are back into the game at home to Oldham, where it is 1-1. Joel Veltman is going to come on for West Ham here?
Obviously Veltman would probably go in the right back position. You might see Walker Peters coming over to the left hand side. The Scar's going off, and then just looking at the bench as well, you've got Mukasa, who can play in the wide areas of attacking midfield player. He's on loan from Man City. You know, you're looking for, you know, some inspiration and someone to create something. I can't believe that Nuno Espirito Santo hasn't put him on.
Well, he's about to.
He's
like he's listening.
He's listening. He's listening on the app.
As Hermansen goes up high to claim a high ball into the penalty area, hit by a Charlton free kick, and now he sets Castellanos away down the right hand side to take on McNamara. Rolls it square. Solomon, clever flick. Piroe on the angle into the penalty area, forced wide of goal, can't get the shot in, pulls it back to Bowen, who bundles it goalwards, and it's easily gathered by Okonkwo. That was certainly one of West Ham's better moves in the game.
Yeah, just when it came out to Piroe, just a really heavy touch, where if he gets the right touch out of his feet and he gets on the edge of the 18-yard box, he's get his shot in, but he just has a heavy touch that enables Chalobah to get back, get goal side and negate the danger.
They could be in again here, Charlton. Grant surges into the area from the right. Grant can tee up the cross to the back post for Campbell. It's sliced away by Engels on the volley. I must say Engels has been less than convincing on his West Ham United debut. Early days, but a very unconvincing West Ham performance. Their next game away at Watford next Saturday is live on TalkSport 2. That's their next game in the league. Bowen over the halfway line, works it wide to Walker Peters. Castellanos in the middle, Walker Peters back to Bowen on the underlap. Low ball in, Castellanos near post is blocked off. West Ham getting closer, but he's actually given a foul, the referee, against Castellanos here. And a free kick to Charlton, who are going to bring on Micah Mbik, another young talent, another 19-year-old, while West Ham get Mukasa finally for his West Ham debut in his second spell at the club, and Veltman onto the field. Miles Leaburn is coming off. He has been brilliant today, Perry Groves.
Yeah, he's held the ball up. We said about his physical presence, 6'6". So Mbik will come on again, a physical presence up front. 6'4", 19 years of age. Was on loan at Colchester United last season. Got 9 in 25, 7 league goals. So he knows, you know, the physicality of the EFL. Just basically fresh legs. You know, it's nothing to do with the way that Miles Leaburn has played, because you said there, he's been that focal point. He's held the ball up. He's actually bullied Mavropanos and Kilman, and that's enabled Charlton to get out.
Well, off goes Scarles. Some ironic cheers from the West Ham fans, and likewise Mavropanos. Veltman comes on, and Divine Mukasa back at West Ham United. So what does that mean in terms of West Ham's shape here, I wonder, Perry? Have they gone to a back three? Is Orford going to slot in?
Well, we're just looking, you say from West Ham's point of view, they needed some inspiration, so that's why they've obviously brought Mukasa.
Perry, I've got a little column on my notes for chances and goal-mouth action. I've written down nothing for West Ham today, because there has basically been nothing.
Yeah, there's one header, isn't there, the first half from Castellanos, free header right at the end of the first half.
Should have
scored it straight at Okonkwo, so he should have scored. So it looks like Veltman obviously will come on and play central with Walker Peters at the right of him and Kilman in the left, and you said there, so they've gone to the back three. Mukasa will play centrally as well.
And good reverse ball by Bowen, threaded down the inside right. It's Piroe who's across to it, but he is blocked off by Amari Bell. Charlton winning all the key battles in the game, leading 2-0. Here is Kilman for West Ham, live on TalkSport 2, 19 minutes to go. Solomon 5 yards from the dead ball line. He's got the opportunity to cut it back here to Engels. Engels let it run across his body, plays it back to Veltman. Now Walker Peters joining the attack. Walker Peters crosses, header away by McNamara. That'll take a couple of bounces and drop down to Kilman again. Kilman to Mukasa, West Ham's new number 14. Threaded ball forward to Solomon. He's kept it in play, and he's blocked off by Grant. Did very well there, Solomon.
Free kick, dangerous position for West Ham. Bang on the touchline.
And a yellow card.
Kick, dangerous position for West Ham. Bang on the touchline.
And a yellow card for Grant. Rochdale 1, Crawley 2 is the latest score. Oxford lead at Stevenage by a 1-0. And it's Bromley 0, Cambridge United 1, 1-0. And it's Bromley 0, Cambridge United 1. Engels lays it square to Solomon, back to the edge of the penalty area, dinked in by Veltman, really poor, nothing behind it, very tame, headed away by the front man Umbick, and all the way back to the goalkeeper goes Veltman. Very experienced player, of course, the former Brighton and Ajax man. Back go West Ham to Hermansen once again. Well, the hangover of relegation appears to be a real possibility for West Ham. West Ham 0, Charlton 2. Having conceded. West Ham 0, Charlton 2. Having conceded 2 late goals to draw with Burnley last weekend. Again, live on TalkSport 2. Angled ball to the right, and Bowen will come forward. He'll take on Bell on the corner of the area, whip in a left-footed cross. Piroe header straight at Okonkwo. A glancing touch, and again, they're not able to seriously trouble the goalkeeper.
Brilliant cross from Jarrod Bowen, cutting in from that right-hand side on his left foot. Piroe, again, finds himself unmarked, 7 yards out. He's got to have better direction on his header. Just goes straight to Okonkwo, another simple save from the Charlton Athletic goalkeeper. He's probably had 4 of them, Joe, hasn't he, where it just come straight at him. So
he's not been stretched in the game, has he, the goalkeeper?
He's had 1 save, I think, in the second half of it. Piroe had his shot from the edge of the D where he saved it with his left arm, made it look one for the photographers.
Plenty of whom are behind the goal. Solomon jinking infield from the left-hand side, 25 yards out. Lays it square to Orford. He'll whip the ball cross field out to Bowen. West Ham 2-0 down. Bowen's low ball flicked by Piroe. Castellanos saved. Rebound in from Piroe. It's a debut goal for the number 9, and West Ham are back in it with 16 minutes to go. West Ham 1, Charlton 2, and they have a foothold.
There's the hope that the West Ham fans were clinging on to, what they wanted. Ball comes out to Bowen on that right-hand side. He gets a right-footed cross right across the 6-yard box, comes to the far post. West Ham get the first shot in from Castellanos. Then there's a good save from Okonkwo, who gets 2 palms to it, and then as the ball just bounces out, Piroe's Johnny on the spot, just makes sure as it drops to him from 4 yards out, smashes it into roof net with his right foot to West Ham back at this game and give the West Ham fans something to cling on to.
That's what he's been brought in on loan from Leeds to do. A 74th goal at championship level for Joel Piroe, and a first for West Ham. And now there's a different feel to it, with a quarter of an hour remaining on TalkSport 2. It's going to be a very interesting final 15 minutes plus added time. Charlton, who've defended so resolutely, so stoutly, that they are breached. And Preston 0, Wolves 2 is the latest score. Port Vale 1, Tranmere 1. Here goes Bowen, marauding down the right. Engels with a deflection on the cross off Moamba. It is a West Ham United corner at the Bobby Moore end, and suddenly the crowd are up here, Perry.
You can just feel the difference in energy. You can feel the positivity from Piroe's goal to put West Ham back in it at 2-1 down.
Corner taken short, whipped in by Solomon. Thumping header away through a crowd by Kumetia. It'll bounce down to Walker-Peters. West Ham 1, Charlton 2. Walker-Peters lays it square. Veltman a long way out takes over, and he picks out Bowen. Bowen still 30-40 yards from goal. He's gone wide to the far side, and Solomon a long way from our commentary position. Piroe still forward. Castellanos is there as well. Orford rolls it square to Walker-Peters, and Orford has continued his run forward. On the outside of Walker-Peters is Kilman, left of centre, whips in the crossover, hit by Kilman, and Grant will let that drift away towards the corner flag. He actually has to keep it in the end, Carl and Grant. His clearance wasn't the best, and it's deflected into the path of Bowen, and Mukassa's effort is turned over the top by the goalkeeper. Excellent save by Okonkwo, and West Ham now really seeking an equaliser.
Yeah, poor play from Carl and Grant over on that left-hand side. Just be putting the ball up the touchline, just gets caught in possession, gives the ball away. Good play from Jarrod Bowen, just puts it into Mukassa's path with his right foot, gets his shot away from 10 yards. Brilliant save from Okonkwo, tips over the crossbar. Another corner for West Ham on the left-hand side, and you can feel the difference in the energy here at the London Stadium. You can feel the positivity. Now it's going to be whether Charlton can hold out. We've got 13 minutes to go of normal time, and they're going to drop deeper and deeper, and West Ham are putting them under more pressure. Solomon on the left-hand side, Bowen on the right, with Piroe, Castellanos and Mukassa just floating around them. So basically Nuno Espirito Santo has gone all in.
Double change for Charlton. Rankin Costello and Sichenji on for Chalobah and Grant. So those are definitely defensive changes. Corner to West Ham, 2-1 down. Delivered in by Engels, punched away by the goalkeeper. Campbell will hook it over his shoulder and further clear of danger, but it has the feel of attack v defence now. West Ham playing from right to left and desperate to try and preserve a point out of this game, a game where they've been trailing for such a long time. Solomon, the number 10 yards into opposition territories, level with the edge of the centre circle. He's played it square to Walker-Peters. The team in claret and blue come forward again. Bowen out on the right-hand side. He's taking on Amari Bell. 4 in the middle here for West Ham. Bowen wins a throw. And you'd bank on West Ham having at least one big chance before the end of the game, Perry Groves.
Yeah, so we've got 12 minutes to go of normal time. And what's happened, the difference now is Charlton haven't got an out ball. They haven't. There's no threat on the counter-attack. And because obviously come on for Leeburn, but because obviously they're trying to cling on to what they've got, then they're starting to sit a bit deeper. They're not as good as what they were in possession when they were 2-0 up. So they're just starting to feel the pressure. You said there, with this period of time, you can bet your life, obviously, with Bowen, who's just starting to come into the game. We're on the right-hand side, and Solomon on this left. At West Ham will create one, maybe two chances.
No foul on Piroe, edge of the box, and Bick has held it up well for Charlton on the halfway line, and he's nudged it out to the left, and Mwamba. Charlton maybe now a threat on the counter-attack as Mwamba dribbles forward into the penalty area. It's a really good run, but he can't tease beyond Veltman, who shrugged him aside, and it's a West Ham goal kick. We've got just over 10 minutes to go, plus added time, so maybe 15 or so left. West Ham 1, Charlton 2, as Wickham get an equaliser at home to Plymouth. It's 1-1.
Yeah, just really good experience defending there from Veltman.
Yeah. Came across at just the right time.
Just making sure that he used his body really, really well.
You'll be able to have your say after the game on the Game Day phone in over on Talk Sport tonight from 5:30. 03717 223344. Lovely play by Bowen, away from 2, away from 3, and the curling shot is narrowly wide. Inspiration from Jared Bowen on the run, got in between two cream shirts, darted beyond the third. How far wide was that curling effort, I wonder, Perry Groves?
Yeah, I think it was very, very close to Lukonku's far right-hand top corner. Just cut inside Bell onto his left foot, with his left foot just didn't quite get enough curl in it. There was you could actually audibly hear the gasp from the West Ham fans. Think it's going to end up in that top right-hand corner of Lukonku's. Goes agonisingly, probably 2-3 inches wide.
Well, it must be agonising listening and watching for the Charlton fans at this point. 2-1 up, but it'll be a long 10 minutes plus added time. Solomon back to Orford for West Ham, who at this point are now throwing everything at it in search of an equaliser, having been 2-0 down at one stage. Bowen away in the wing position on the right. Bowen chip into the penalty area. Engels nearly in. It's dropped to Castellanos. Was he tripped by Coventry? The referee emphatically here is going to say no, and he's going to book Castellanos for diving.
It's really good refereeing from Andrew Kitchen, because Castellanos is just trying to buy the penalty. Just as the ball drops in to the 18-yard box, Castellanos just gets himself across Coventry. Coventry does really well. He knows that he's coming. He's nowhere near him. So is he now going to get a 2-game ban for deliberately trying to deceive the referee? No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm serious.
Yeah.
That is worse. That is worse than the headbutt.
Than a potentially accidental handball.
Absolutely. That is far, far worse. Really good refereeing from Andrew Kitchen. Really good refereeing, because Coventry did well because he knew he was coming on the blind side of him. Castellanos flows himself to the floor. That is cheating. What Hegerberg did isn't cheating.
So really, if they're going to be consistent,
2-game
the same
ban.
thing should apply.
Absolutely.
Well, let's see. That'll be an interesting one to follow as the days go on. West Ham won't mind too much if Castellanos can help them find an equaliser. Orford, midway inside his own half. Orford's been a far steadier presence than Conte in the middle of midfield. On the right-hand side, Walker-Peters crosses halfway. He's run 20-30 yards up to the midway point of opposition territory, then looks for Bowen. West Ham 1, Charlton 2. Bowen on the outside, whips in a high looping cross to the back post. Castellanos hits the side netting with a header from an impossible angle. Don't know whether he just miscued it, because he surely couldn't have been trying to go for goal there.
Yeah, Bowen just gone on the outside of Bell on that right-hand side, just dinging up to far post. Castellanos coming in. McNamara again, I think he's been outstanding in the right-back position for Charlton Athletic. He's made sure he's protected his two centre-halves, made sure Castellanos couldn't get the decent header. And talking about Castellanos, he's been very lucky and been sent off, because he had the incident halfway through the second half where he put his hand into a Charlton defender's face, and he could have easily got booked and even got sent off for that one.
He is a fiery character, isn't he, Castellanos?
Shall we say
Unpredictable.
he's got edge? Is that what we say?
I think that's fair. Good turn on the halfway line by Mwamba for Charlton, but Campbell in the left wing position was offside, so we didn't even make a play to try and reach it. His goal separates the two teams. 7 minutes left plus added time. Some clouds now starting to gather overhead. What has been a gloomy day for West Ham, but it could end with some positivity if they can find an equaliser here. 2-1 down. Orford on the halfway line once more. He's surely got to start the Watford game next Saturday.
Yeah, just looking at Charlton Athletic, they've gone into a back five now. Sisenji has gone into the right-sided centre-half alongside Jones and Kumieto.
Bowen dribbling down towards the dead ball line, chipping in the cross. Mukasa, it's just over his head. It's dropped down to the back post, and Solomon. Now Solomon delivers high, headed away by Kumetio. Bounces down towards Engels. He'll retrieve it ahead of Mbik, who has thundered into the back of Walker-Peters, committed an obvious foul. Free kick to West Ham, and are they going to pump it into the box here? Walker-Peters holding his head, and the West Ham fans, some of them not happy. Might have gone down with a bit of cramp as well here. He's getting some help from Veltman. I suppose aerial balls would suit Charlton Athletic, wouldn't they, Perry, at this stage in the game?
Jesse, yeah, I've gone with the three centre-halves. Say Jones and Kumieto have been outstanding so far. Sisenji just obviously gone alongside him as the third centre-half. Obviously Bell on the left-hand side, McNamara on the right. So it's going to be a long 6.5 minutes of normal time for the Charlton Athletic fans, because basically now it is forwards v defence. Charlton Athletic aren't any threat going forward at the moment.
Can West Ham break them down? They've given it away to McNamara, who's actually barely put a foot wrong, but on this occasion has dribbled it out of play. And he's kicked the ball away, McNamara, after the whistle. The referee doesn't punish him for it. Barnet may have a late winner at Shrewsbury. They lead by 2-1, the North London side. Here a London derby. East against South. Charlton lead 2-1. Mukassa's looked bright since coming on, and he draws a foul from Sichenji. And midway inside opposition territory, takes the free kick quickly. Out on the left wing is Solomon again. Solomon with a marauding run, twisting one way and then the other. Onto the right foot, good cross, only half dealt with by Charlton Athletic. Bounces down to the edge of the penalty area, headed backwards by Engels to Veltman. West Ham desperate to make it 2-2. 4.5 minutes to go now. Solomon infield from the left-hand side again, lays it square. Engels goes for goal, big deflection on it, loops up into the air. It'll bounce down to Solomon again. He is the man who looks like making things happen for West Ham, as does Bowen on the other wing. Solomon, number 10, taking on the defender Rankin Costello, lays it square. Orford edge of the D, Orford chips it in, headed away this time by Bell at the back post for Charlton, and now Coventry has held it up for them. Campbell out on the left-hand side will do likewise, and Charlton will just try and slow the game down at this point in the match. Coventry has just clattered it upfield all the way through to the West Ham goalkeeper Hermanson, and Perry's absolutely right. No ambition in Charlton whatsoever now, other than to defend the 2-1 lead that they have, and you can understand that totally.
Yeah, well, if that was in the first sort of hour, when Campbell got the ball out on that left-hand side, he'd have actually run with that about 40-50 yards. Decides to just put it up the left touchline. He thinks he's going to get a foul from Piroe. Quite rightly, the referee Andrew Kinney says no. West Ham get the ball back.
Bromley 1, Cambridge 1. Equaliser for Bromley on their third tier home bound. Swindon 2, Cheltenham 1. Late goal back for Cheltenham. West Ham got one back here, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough at the moment. Walker-Peters, 30 yards out, angled ball to the right. Bowen is onto it, taking on Bell in a one-on-one. Bowen heads for the dead ball line. Bell gets a foot in, but Bowen has still got it back. Bowen for West Ham, all left foot, lays it back to Walker-Peters. Very crowded penalty area at the moment. Everybody back for Charlton. Kilman, wide left to the near side. Solomon, can West Ham break through? Solomon delivers, and a looping header from Mukasa. is going to drift harmlessly over the top.
Yeah, I think Solomon there just have to be a little bit patient because he's on the left-hand side of the D. Then just like a sort of a desperate ball as he cuts inside. McNamara maybe go 1v1, go on the outside. So just Macassar comes in, just gets a poor header, loops over Conkel's crossbar. And when they're out of possession now, if you look at Charlton, they're basically a flat back seven. They're right along the edge of the 18-yard box.
But they've got it here with Campbell dribbling into the penalty area again and cutting it back across, intercepted by Veltman. I think the ball had gone out of play, and it has. It's a goal kick to West Ham. The pullback from Campbell, errant. And now he's got to get back because West Ham immediately carry it forward with Kilman. 2-1 down West Ham. 2 minutes plus added time to go. Some of the West Ham fans are heading for the exits here. Solomon, the tricky Solomon, full of dynamism all day. Not enough of that across the rest of the West Ham team. He's in the left wing position here, Solomon. Onto the right foot, lays it square. Macassar trying to work an angle for a shot. There are so many cream shirts surrounding him. So many back behind the ball here for Charlton Athletic. Continuing to defend strongly. Solomon, though, delivers a good cross. Bird at the back post. Piroe has tucked it in, but the flag is up on the far side. The ball had already gone out of play. And it'll be no equaliser for West Ham United, at least not yet, Perry Groves.
Well, the assistant on the far side was very, very quick with his flag. It was a great little lofted ball in from Solomon from this left-hand side. Jarrod Bowen getting on the wrong side of Bell. And we see there, it's well out of play, to be fair to the assistant. Spot on, good yard and a half over the byline.
And now Joe Rankin Costello at the other end, bursting forward. He can seal it here. Saved by the leg of Hermanson. Turned it away. Rankin Costello denied from the angle. The former Blackburn Rovers man suddenly had a clear run on goal.
He actually got caught in two minds there, Rankin Costello, because he didn't know whether to head for the corner flag and try and waste some time before I'm actually in the 18-yard box on the right foot. I might as well get a shot. Simple save from Hermanson with his right foot, just extends it out. Just hear a big cheer there as the ball comes out to Solomon on that left-hand side, ends up running the ball out of play.
Well, how much pressure, Perry, is Nuno Espirito Santo under, even in the second game of the league season?
If he stays like this, I think the West Ham fans might give you the answer.
There are some boos from the West Ham fans as Orford heads the ball forward and it's nudged clear and away from danger by Sichenji. Last 20 seconds of normal time. Charlton lead 2-1. West Ham have got a free kick in the left wing position. Well, there is still some hope for West Ham United here. Divine Mubama's got a late winner for Southampton at home to Stoke. They lead 2-1. Forest 0, Leeds 1 in the Premier League. Anton Stack for Leeds. 4 added minutes at the end of the game here at London Stadium. 4 minutes more for Charlton Athletic to try and hang on. They are hanging on a bit here. Engels over the free kick, right-footed, in swinging into the penalty area, cleared away by Sichenji. Now they can maybe break again, Charlton. Campbell has held it up brilliantly. He looks one of the early season stars in the Championship, Tyrese Campbell, and he's won Charlton a throw in front of the technical area. Superb play by Campbell.
Yeah, very clever play from Campbell. Football intelligence as the ball rolled out to him on that right-hand side. He gets engaged at first from Engels, and he just makes sure he just skips that challenge in from Engels, make sure he gets hold of the ball, and then West Ham have to put it out of play. Charlton just ease it down the touchline.
The West Ham fans are leaving the stadium in droves now. 3 minutes of added time remain. They are behind. Charlton 2-1 up. Jarrod Bowen attacking the edge of the penalty area, blocked off by Amari Bell. Terrific defending from the fullback. Now Walker-Peters for West Ham. It's desperate this for West Ham United. It really is almost now or never in the context of the game. Kilman angles the ball wide left to Solomon. Charlton with everybody back behind the ball. Macassar edged the area and the shot is teed up for Orford. Was that handball? It's a penalty! Penalty to West Ham United right at the very end. And they have a chance to rescue a point. Nuno Espirito Santo's team.
Yeah, good play again from Solomon on that left-hand side. Just rolls the ball into Orford. Orford gets his shot away. Then I think it's Connor Coventry who's come out to try and close the ball down. And his arms, his left hand is away from his body. His left forearm. And straight away, Coventry knew that it was handball, and he'll probably be sent to Coventry by his teammates, because it's just a lazy challenge. You can't put your left arm away from your body. Exactly what he did. Big chance now for Castellanos to get the equaliser for West Ham from the penalty spot.
Yellow card for Jones. Well, this really is the defining moment in the game. The West Ham fans on their feet around the stadium. We are 3 minutes into stoppage time. Castellanos, stuttered run up. It's the post! It's off the post and away! The Charlton Athletic fans dancing in the stands. West Ham have missed the penalty, and with that is their opportunity to get a point gone. What drama in the EFL, live on TalkSport 2.
Castellanos has his little stuttering run up. Okonkwo goes to his right hand side. Castellanos has got to roll it to the left into base an empty net. That's the cardinal sin. You have to hit the target. You must hit the target. He's actually at the outside of the post. Ball rebounds, goes out for a throw in. West Ham recycle. Massive chance for Castellanos that he's wasted.
45 seconds to go. Down the left-hand side is Solomon. Corner of the area, whips in a curling cross. Collected by Okonkwo. More loud cheers from the 3,000 away fans. And that Castellanos penalty miss sums up where West Ham United are now. And he almost covers his face with his shirt as Okonkwo blasts the ball upfield. 20 seconds remain. Charlton lead it by 2-1. Foul on Lloyd Jones, and Charlton deserve to lead it 2-1.
Very much so, and if you believe in karma, that's karma for Castellanos, because he gets booked for diving to try and get the penalty with simulation. Then, quite rightly, West Ham get the penalty from Coventry's left arm, where it's a shot from Orford, and then he hits the post. It's just a really poor penalty from Castellanos. Massive let-off for Charlton Athletic, which you have to say, Joe, their performance has deserved, and it's party time.
And the boos from the home fans say it all. It is a famous victory for Charlton Athletic at London Stadium, but for West Ham United, a worrying start for a troubled club. There are afters at the end between Castellanos and McNamara. Those two don't like each other, and Castellanos is having to be pulled away by Mads Hermansson, the West Ham goalkeeper. But what a nightmare start at home to begin the league season for West Ham United. The relegation hangover appears to be in full effect, and Charlton have made the short trip to East London and taken all 3 points back to the Valley. It is a huge win for Nathan Jones and his team, who have started the season with 2 league wins from 2. But for West Ham United, the gloom deepens and the pressure grows on Nuno Espirito Santo. The result, the performance, typified by Castellanos' penalty miss in stoppage time. That after Joel Piroe had got West Ham back into the game. But ultimately, the goals from Jones and Campbell, enough for Charlton Athletic. The away fans are dancing with delight in celebration. West Ham supporters streaming out of the London Stadium after yet another day of disappointment. West Ham United 1, Charlton Athletic 2.
Joe Shannon, thank you very much indeed. An unhappy start at home for the Hammers as Nuno Espirito Santo trudges off the pitch. His team beaten, they've lost their first home game back in the second tier, beaten in a London derby, and there will be serious questions about that performance for Nuno. The Charlton fans though, away to our right hand side in fine voice, and why not? What a day for them, what a performance from their team. The players lapping up the applause in front of that away end, which went absolutely bonkers, Perry Groves, when that stuttering penalty from Castellanos right at the end cannoned off the post. And Joe is absolutely right, it summed up the day for West Ham United.
And I think it summed up the day for Castellanos, because he was just like one of those annoying wasp, wasn't he? Just wasn't really like sort of involved in the game. Tried to buy the penalty where he just dived. Coventry just pulled his arm away quite rightly. Andrew Kitchen, referee, booked him for diving. Then he gets the penalty, which is again quite rightly given because Orford has his shot and Coventry's arm is away from his body, hits his left arm, and they call that sort of goalkeeper dependent, don't they, where they wait for the goalkeeper to dive. You look at the goalkeeper, then he just rolls it, should be rolling empty net, hits the post. So we're just seeing the massive celebrations for the Charlton Athletic fans with Nathan Jones going up there doing his Jurgen Klopp fist pumps, getting the fans on their side. And you have to say that his team left it all out there. They left it all out there this afternoon. West Ham, they didn't. West Ham didn't play as a team. Not enough energy, not enough desire. They got outworked for the first 73 minutes until obviously West Ham scored through Joel Piroe and got themselves back to it at 2-1 down. But you have to say, don't always get what you deserve in football, do you? You don't always get, but Charlton Athletic's performance today, they have got what they deserve. They deserve to win this game today. They would have been absolutely distraught if they'd have drawn this game 2-2. So sometimes there are footballing gods where you get what you deserve.
Yeah, Nathan Jones with a passionate celebration, and it was a passionate performance from his side. 2 wins from 2 for Charlton. Get this, they moved to second in that early table below Millwall. That performance was about organisation, commitment, spirit, and it typified, I think, Perry, how difficult this league can be. They were organised, they were difficult to break down, and West Ham was second best.
West Ham didn't want it enough. Their players didn't want it enough. There was not enough aggression. And if you look at Charlton's 2 goals, first one in the 7th minute, where it's a long throw from Carey, bounced in the 6-yard box. Jones, the Charlton captain, he chests it, and he chests it up. Kilman's got to go and put his head in. He doesn't. Jones had an acrobatic overhead kick. It goes low down to Hermson's left-hand side. So, deservedly, Charlton go 1-0 up. And then through the rest of that first half, Charlton looked by far the more dangerous team on the counter-attack. Leeburn was playing really well up front. The 2 players in the wide areas, Grant and Campbell, where they interchanged. Started off at first with Campbell on the right, Grant on the right, Campbell on the left, and then they swapped over. And there was just more cohesion about the Charlton Athletic side. They played as a team. They had a better team shape. West Ham played like a load of individuals, a load of strangers, and it was all what we say now, lateral passing, basically sideways. I think Okonkwo didn't have a difficult save to make in the first half. The best chance with Castellanos right at the end of the first half, where he should have scored, headed it straight at him. Apart from that, he could have had a picnic table, couldn't he, and like cheese and onion sandwiches and a packet of crisps, because he had nothing to do with Okonkwo in Charlton's goal.
Is this performance from West Ham, Perry, is it an early season hangover? Is it a team that's just been relegated, getting used to being in this division once again? Or do you think from what you saw today there should be genuine long-term concerns for Nuno and the way that he's set this side up? Because it can't be forgotten that they have spent money, West Ham, in this transfer window to try and bolster this attack, this team, and from what we saw today, there was none of it.
Well, I'll refer to the notes that I read out before the game. We're not building a team for this season, we're building a team and a project for the future, and that's vital. We make the right decisions. We can take our time, but we can't afford to foul. Well, they've fouled today, and they can't afford to take their time, because you have to win the game that's in front of you. And so they're 3 games this season, 1-1, drawn 1 and lost 1, and they haven't played well in any of those 3 games. So they've probably been lucky to get a draw and a win out of those 3 games. Got beaten here today, where if Charlton Athletic were more clinical on the counter-attack, it could have been actually even worse in that first
easily
half. The only player that you would say that really come out with any credit for West Ham would be Solomon on that left-hand side. He looked like the live one. He looked like he was trying to do something. Even Jared Bowen was on the periphery. He ended up getting involved, obviously, in their goal with his cross across the 6-yard box, where it comes to Castellanos. He gets his shot. Good save from Okonkwo. And then Joel Piroe obviously smashing it in the roof of the net. Apart from that, you'd say Jared Bowen was pretty ineffective. So this is... I wasn't going to say a team. It's not a team. West Ham aren't a team. They're a side that relies on individuals to get them out of trouble. And it didn't happen today. Flip it to Charlton Athletic. They are a team. They are in it together. If you go from Okonkwo, obviously the goalkeeper, Jones and Cometio, the two centre-halves. McNamara, I thought, was outstanding in the right-back position. The two wide players, I said, Campbell and Grant, were excellent in the wide areas. Miles Leaburn giving them a focal point up front. When West Ham scored, that last 14 minutes of normal time and the 4 added on time, then it was the backs to the wall stuff. They gave away the penalty, which was a penalty where Coventry can't put his arm away from his body. But thankfully for Charlton and their fans, say Castellanos does a little stutter, and he was an annoying sort of nuisance all afternoon, where he could have easily been sent off. He put his hand in the Charlton defender's face, which Andrew Kitchen didn't see. He dived trying to buy the penalty, and we said in commentary, now he should be banned for 2 games for deliberately trying to deceive the referee. I bet they don't do it, but the justice is he misses the penalty.
OK, it's time now to pick our man of the match with Sage.
Man of the match on TalkSport 2 with Sage, official accounting software partner of the EFL. Search sage.com and get started for free.
Who are you going for, Mr. Groves?
Well, it's got to be a Charlton Athletic player, number one, because the only player who got anywhere near for West Ham would be Solomon. So I mentioned the two centre-halves. I thought Jones was outstanding as the captain. He got his acrobatic overhead kick, his second goal in 2 games. I thought McNamara was brilliant defensively, where he made sure he backed up his centre-halves. But it's going to go to one of the 2 wide players, whether Campbell and Grant. I thought Grant was absolutely outstanding in that first 25-30 minutes, where did his job defensively, whether he's on the right or left side protecting McNamara and Bell. But when you're away from home and you need a bit of inspiration just to take the pressure off, Tyrese Campbell gave him that, and it was brilliant play initially from Leaburn, where Mavropanos gets caught on the ball. It comes to Campbell, and that is a player that is thinking free in his head, where he knows obviously he's got 2 goals in his previous 2 games with brilliant finishes. He made that look easy, where he used, I think it was Kilman as the sort of long barrier, bent it round him, gave Hermanson that. Then that puts Charlton with a grip on the game at 2-0 up, and that's what you want. You want your wide players defending and doing their job, but you want that bit of creativity and that inspiration, as exactly what Tyrese Campbell gave Charlton Athletic in the second half. Got the second goal, which ends up being the winner. So I'm going to give it to Tyrese Campbell.
Yeah, it was some finish as well, wasn't it? 3 goals in 3 for him. That was all thanks to Sage.
Man of the match on TalkSport 2 with Sage, official accounting software partner of the EFL. Search sage.com and get started for free.
Perry Groves, Joe Shannon, thank you very much indeed. Don't forget, you can be the first to have your say on national radio. West Ham fans, how concerned were you with that performance? The game day phone-in starts at 5:30 on TalkSport. The number you need, 03717 22 3344. Coming up next here on TalkSport Tour, later it's live PGA Tour BMW Championship Golf. But up next, it's the William Hill Sportsbook Club.
Here it comes from Carey from the right, far side into the near post. Cometio went for it. Jones with a bicycle kick, and he scored! Lloyd Jones, the captain for Charlton Athletic. What a finish! Improvised it was, stupendous it was. It's run back for Campbell. Campbell into the area now, puts it in the bottom corner. What a finish! Tyrese Campbell, 3 in 3, and a second at London Stadium for Charlton Athletic.
They've been outworked by Charlton Athletic. That's what you can't do in the Championship.
Castellanos saved, rebound in from Piroe. It's a debut goal for the number 9, and West Ham are back in it. Passer into the area, and the shot is teed up for Orford. Was that handball? It's a penalty. Penalty to West Ham United. Castellanos stuttered run up. It's the post. It's off the post and away. The Charlton Athletic fans dancing in the stands. West Ham have missed the penalty, and with that is their opportunity to get a point gone. What drama in the EFL, live on TalkSport 2.
Ultimate Sports Radio.
What a moment!
This is TalkSport 2.
EFL Live on TalkSport 2 with Sage, official accounting software partner